here?
Yeah.
Has it been 15 seconds yet?
I don't think so.
All right, welcome back. Welcome
everybody.
I mean, for some people it's welcome back, right? But then for other people, it's just welcome.
It's just welcome.
Because the first time they might see us is today. Literally.
For
the people that don't know, this is a big time for the show and what's
time for the
going on
show.
around here. First and foremost, should I hit them with it right now?
Hit him with it right now.
Hello, everybody, and welcome officially to Cody's Corner, Cody's week-by-week hot takes on what's going on in all the sports you like. For those who don't know, because they've never seen us, I'm Cody, Dakota, whatever you want to call me, my name. Across from me, the one and only, been rocking with me, David.
What's going on?
And to my left, I got someone important, man. It's from my roots. This is my real guy. You know, known him for a long time. Talking about, what, 12 years I've known you now?
At least, yeah.
At
12.
least. Come on, man. The one and only. We got Jeremy Striano with us today.
Thank you for the intro, Cody. I appreciate that.
Come on, man. You deserve the intro.
I appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. How's everything going?
Everything's been great. You know, it's been one heck of a journey in terms of, like, academic and, you know, the whole personal life. But, you know, I'm finally back here, finally back home, back in the roots.
Yep.
I've been, you know, all over the eastern part of the United States pretty much for a few years, but it's glad to be back, and it's glad to talk some shop with you.
Nice, man. Let's go. And you know what? Not for nothing. Lord knows we were always talking shop in high school.
Absolutely.
Like, we would be in that Spanish class, didn't know what was going on with the subject, but I knew exactly where the Jets were at. I knew exactly where we would talk a lot of soccer back in the day. Told you I was an Atletico fan.
I'm a Man U fan, but
I know.
We don't talk about them right
now. Yeah, well, that's not the topic that we're dying to talk about today, right?
No.
But we're going to get into a couple different things, man. For those that are watching, you can see it above or wherever you're looking at it. It's the mock draft episode. You know, we've been this one's been in the books for a while. Next week is the NFL draft. What is the first day to 25th?
Yeah, the Thursday.
25th to the 27th. So right now this episode's gonna come out the day before, the 24th. So feel free to listen to it right before it happens. See how right or how wrong we are. Today we're going with Jeremy's mock draft today.
Yeah,
so.
man.
No pressure.
It's a good one.
Not at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not because, look, to what's the word I'm looking for? To have a certain pedigree of the knowledge that you have and you've built over your adult career, you know, I have nothing but faith in you, bro.
Let's give a little second over here. Jeremy, explain to the people actually what you do, because we're over here giving you these accolades and people are wondering, you know, who are you?
He deserves all the accolades.
So, I mean, first of all, my love for sports goes back, man, to like when I was a kid. One of my earliest memories, and my parents are always proud of this. My first baseball game was Mets-Orioles at Camden Yards.
Nice.
And before Shea Stadium, before that place was dumb.
Yeah.
But the first memory was just me rattling off the lineup at age 2, and the people behind me going like, "How old is he? Like, how does he know Mike Piazza, Timo Perez?" So, my parents were like, "Oh, he's 2. He just loves his Mets." So, that goes back a long time. I'm a huge hockey fan.
Insane.
I love my Rangers. So, like, right now, as we speak, I'm currently a beat writer for Last Word on Sports. It's a website out of Canada. I cover the New York Rangers. I've been covering them since August of 2023.
That's awesome.
So this is my first year as a beat writer, which is something I'd love to do, keep going down the line, going from publication to publication. I'd love to be an established beat writer.
Right.
And I also work for MLB. So I'm a game day monitor for minor league baseball. So my day-to-day work is practically I'm quality control for viewers of MLB TV and MLB TV. So they'll give me random games during the week. So the other day I was watching, who was I watching? The Rocket City Trash Pandas against the Richmond Flying Squirrels.
Wait a minute.
That's a real.
Wait a minute.
The names.
The
That's a real name.
Squirrels. Say that again. The
Rocket City Trash Pandas.
That's a real name.
Trash Pandas.
Yeah,
okay.
it's one of the coolest logos in all of my.
Is a
baseball.
trash panda A raccoon?
So it's like a raccoon hopping out.
Okay.
It's like
I was like, what kind of panda be in the trash?
Hopping out of a garbage can is literally their logo.
Get out of here.
Like, you got, like, the Akron Rubber Ducks, the Montgomery Biscuits.
That sounds like a dope hat, though, maybe the raccoon one.
Yeah, it's awesome.
A garbage can?
I don't know, like the way
my favorite
symbol.
My favorite hat is the Chattanooga Lookouts. Now, it's one of the best. It's one of the best logos in all of sports. It's a block C with 2 eyeballs.
We like logos here.
Look out.
You know, like the eyes emoji.
Yeah. Like
you know, and it's
the
one
Chattanooga Lookouts.
Yeah, out of Tennessee.
You looking that up right now?
Come on.
How the hell do you spell Chattanooga? Yo, I'm not gonna lie to you. I would have had the voice to text that one, but like Chattanooga.
CHA.
What? So the Lookouts.
Ooh, that's pretty cool.
It's a cool logo. It definitely. I like that. And that's the thing too. Like, the part of the job is like, you know, I love baseball. I love every sport.
Right.
I grew up on every sport. Baseball was my first love. Hockey was the one I found along the way.
There you go.
But, you know, what I love about the job is you are exposed to just some top prospects in all of baseball. And I've been doing it for a few weeks now, and I love it. I love being a part of the team over at MLB.
You should clap that up. Clap that up. Yo, listen, man. He's been through a lot. Been through, you know, the ups and downs of what it is to be in sports media, and you got to find your light at the end of the tunnel, bro. Just like any other job. So, you know, commend you for all the stuff that you've been through, for sure. Even though you're a Celtics fan.
Even though
oh my goodness.
But
we'll get to that later.
I think it's interesting that you brought up the O's, because I actually went to the home opener this season, and I got that, hung it up on the wall there from the home opener. That was my first time there, like, only now.
What do you think of Camden Yards? It's my favorite ballpark.
Amazing.
It's my favorite
I've never been in a baseball field that felt so personal.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So you haven't been to, like, Chicago? Like Wrigley Field?
No, I haven't been to Wrigley Field.
That would probably be the closest one. Like, I would say that, Fenway, and what used to be the old Yankee Stadium. But now, to me, like, the more, like, the ones that feel the most like home, like community-based, I would say Baltimore, Chicago, Boston. But I love Baltimore. Now, the
crab dog? Come on, bro.
That's what I got.
Come on, bro. The crab dog? They don't know about the crab dog, bro.
Dude. Their cuisine down there is exquisite. Yeah, the city gets a bad rep, but
it does. But the seafood over there.
Oh my God.
Do you think that's have you ever had a salmon Philly?
No.
Oh, come on. We went through that the last time.
I have not. I was just in Philly, but
were you really?
For WrestleMania.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. I'm a huge wrestling fan.
That's fire.
Yeah.
You went with a nice group?
I did. I went with a couple people from high school.
Oh,
shout out Mike Punzalan. Shout out Krista Tolley.
Shout him out, Mike Punzalan, Krista Tolley.
We went down there. My cousin was with us. Our friends were with us as well. We got an Airbnb for the weekend, and you got to see.
So you made a whole event out of it.
Oh, dude, absolutely. I watch Monday Night Raw and SmackDown every week when I can. Like, I got work on Fridays, but I'm off every Monday, so I get to watch.
Right, Raw.
Right, there you go.
But getting to see Cody Rhodes win the title over Roman Reigns, and John Cena and the Undertaker coming out, like, to me, WrestleMania was like for like the kid, for me, and then for all like the old school wrestling fans that were around when Undertaker debuted in 1990.
That's awesome.
You know what's crazy?
That's awesome.
That's exactly why I wanted to have Jeremy on the show, is because he knows so much about sports that I have no clue what's going on. You saw, he just brought up wrestling and hockey and
baseball.
Come on, bro. Look, and I know we haven't spoken in a while. Right. I'm a little more into baseball now than I was in past. And but it's still my number 3. In my order, is football number 1, basketball 2, baseball 3. And then everything else is tied for 4th.
We'll get hockey a solidified
I'm trying to get
spot.
I've been to hockey games, and I've said it. I don't know if I ever said this on the show, but a hockey game is the most entertaining live sports event I've ever been to.
That's a fact.
Out of anything.
I can't necessarily second that because I love basketball so much.
Basketball's way
and I can only imagine what a playoff game courtside feels like.
Yeah, courtside.
You know what I'm saying?
Anything courtside's more exciting
But I say that because you can get pretty decent seats in hockey, depending, you know what I mean?
But you can be right behind the glass.
I did go to a hockey game, and it was a good time.
There you go.
For sure. Devils game.
There you go.
It was a good time. Devils won.
Prudential.
Right?
Yeah.
So it was good.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah,
so,
man.
I think as far as all the sports, like I said, I were talking about, but I think hockey for us is somewhere that we really want to dive into more as far as just what people know, what hearsay is about hockey. You know,
I'm not gonna lie. I got some questions, man.
Oh.
I don't know too much about hockey at all. Other than nothing. Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. So with that being said, being so close to the Rangers and everything, the first thing I want to ask, because I know the Rangers are good this year.
Right.
Very
good.
Playoffs.
So,
President's Trophy.
Is it championship or bust for the Rangers?
That's a great question because a lot of people are talking about that, and every media outlet that has like a beat writer or someone associated with the Rangers is always asking, is it championship or bust? To me, because you got to look at the contract situations, I'm going to say yeah, because I think the window right now is slowly closing. I don't think it's closed after this season per se, but, the core of the Rangers are well over, they're 30 years and older, right? Like Artemi Panarin, who put up 120 points in 82 games played.
Wow.
He's 33. Mika Zibanejad, who's the number one center for the Rangers, he's 31. The perk of this is that the defensive core is so young. Like Adam Fox, who I believe is 25. I think he's a year old, or I think he's 24, 25. I think he's a year younger. I think he's a 99.
Okay.
99 baby. He's already making $9+ million. He's already won a Norris Trophy, which is awarded to the best defenseman in the league. The defensive core is young, apart from the captain Jacob Trouba. So the question right now is the forward core, the top 6 forward core.
Yeah.
There's one forward that's like in his like younger 20s, and that's Alexei Lafreniere, a former first overall pick, the only first overall pick in New York Rangers history.
Oh wow!
And the Rangers have been around since 1926, so they're coming up on 100 years.
He's only the first.
He's the first and only first overall pick for the Rangers in the franchise's history.
So does that mean that the Rangers
the
have
Rangers
predominantly
have been stamped nice forever?
Okay,
essentially, right?
You would think that, but the Rangers only have 4 Stanley Cups to their name. And their last one was 30 years ago in 1994.
So now I ask you this.
Yep.
Is a Stanley Cup the hardest championship to win in sports? 'Cause I've heard this from a couple different media outlets and stuff like that. So
that's a spicy one.
I think it is because if you look at baseball,
that wasn't too much hesitation.
That wasn't too much.
I think the closest one will probably be the NBA with all this, with the new bracket and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard for like one of those teams in the playing games to go far. Like you got to win a game. If you lose a game, then you got to play another one. For hockey, like basketball, correct me if I'm wrong. Like once you get to like the first round, like everything is 7 games. It's best of 7. In baseball, you get the wild card series or whatever it is now. That's like a best of 3. The DS is a best of 5, and then the CS and the World Series are best of 7. Hockey is best of 7. From the first round to the very end when you're lifting Lord Stanley's Cup over your head. And to me, I am biased. It's the greatest trophy in sports. It's the hardest one to win. And believe me, players have said when you win that 16th game, like it takes 16 wins to get Lord Stanley's Cup. Now, the Stanley Cup weighs about...
Lord Stanley?
Lord
That's
Stanley's
what it's called. That's what it's called. Lord Stanley's Cup.
Really?
You call it the Stanley Cup, but
I thought that's what it was.
No, it's Lord Stanley's Cup.
Yeah. You could call it whatever it is.
Why is it Lord? That was his name?
Yeah, it was the guy that they associate like the creation of hockey with, and like hockey goes back a long ways away.
But like they actually refer to him as Lord.
Yeah, like Lord Stanley.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's a huge flex.
But be
the Lord of anything.
Yeah. But what makes it so difficult though? Because I can say the same thing for the NBA.
Nah.
You know. What do you mean, nah?
Because I'm gonna say this.
What's the argument?
My argument is
you don't even watch hockey.
No, but
so what's the argument?
But you want to know? Well, the only reason I'm gonna let this be known. The only reason I don't watch hockey, I can't follow the puck on TV.
My dad says the same thing.
That's the only reason I refuse to follow the sport as far as the teams and records. Because I wouldn't know who's winning or losing without the scoreboard.
But I didn't ask that.
But what I'm saying is, look, the reason I think it's the hardest is because me personally, from my experience, and that's all I could speak from, is that I think hockey's probably the hardest sport to play.
There it is. I think it's so, like, I didn't even play it to, like, its peak. Like, I only played, like, recreation street hockey, and then roller hockey, which doesn't allow checking. Now, so I don't have credentials on that, but I'm someone that's watched the game from the age of 4. I used to go to the Garden at the age of 4. I've seen it all. I've seen people bleed for it. I've seen people get hurt. I've seen people play. When we're done here, I want you to just Google the 2015 New York Ranger injury report after the playoffs. 2015. Bruised ribs, torn ACLs, broken fibulas. Like, they played with everything, and they tape everything up. There's no room for, I don't feel good today. No, the fans are expecting you to go out there, and you're playing on a bum leg. You're playing. The only thing they wouldn't play with would probably be brain injuries, obviously concussions. Right. Those are going to be out. Anything bone, anything muscle related.
That sounds intense.
Yeah, it is, and I give every single player. Yeah. I give all athletes credit. Of course, it's hard, but I give hockey players more just because it's a sport that wasn't my first love. Right. It was discovered by me later in life a little bit, not too later, but baseball was first. Right. Then hockey was. 16 wins. Seems like, it's 16 wins, but 16 wins in that short window and trying to get 4 wins at a time for anything.
That's a whole season.
It's
16 wins?
It is tough.
So essentially hockey's more difficult simply because it's more physical.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily the physicality. I mean, at least because look, other sports are physical. Football is very physical. People don't speak about it. Basketball is extremely physical. So I think.
Well, I'm just saying because it's still 16 wins that you need to win an NBA championship. Yeah. So, in the playoffs, guys are playing hurt. So I would say that I guess it's harder because hockey is more physical. So, because I didn't know that guys are playing against those injuries. But then again, there's a lot of times that in basketball, people are playing with those same injuries too. Maybe not broken fibulas or whatever.
Right. But all that plus you're skating.
You're on ice. You have to skate first before you puck handle. That's what you're taught first as a hockey player.
Come on, bro.
You got these thin blades on your feet. You got to skate.
I can't even skate fully healthy, let alone with a broken fibula. What are you talking about right now, bro? You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's just me.
Am I butchering it? Fibula, whatever it is?
I have no idea. I'm going to tell you right now.
I have no idea.
This is not a hospital podcast.
Not that. We are not Grey's Anatomy.
Broken leg. Just broken leg.
So I'm going to go with...
Yeah, your fibula.
So... Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, again, this is, I'm biased when it comes to basketball because then I start thinking to my mind, does that mean that, hockey players are more skilled and stuff like that? So I don't know. But
in their own way. But
it's all in their own way. Yeah. But I will give it. I have heard that quite a bit, and you don't. From what I seen, you don't see too many repeats and stuff like that in hockey.
For the NHL,
correct?
Absolutely not.
So
and that's the beauty of it. And I used to say that all the time. When the Warriors dynasty was a thing, it was here we go again. Same shit, different day. Yeah. But in hockey, it's. And I appreciate that. Now, it hasn't been the Rangers in 30 years. I'd like a change in that scenery.
Right.
But you see teams like the Vegas Golden Knights win last year.
It was 94?
94 was the last one for the Rangers. And then the Devils was
a little more recent, right? Yeah.
2003. Now, the Devils and the Rangers were in Stanley Cup Finals in 2012 and 2014, but they both lost to the Los Angeles Kings. So that's another recent dynasty. You had teams like the Kings with players like Anze Kopitar, who's still in the league, and then their captain back then was Dustin Brown, Drew Doughty. The Chicago Blackhawks were always dominant. Patrick Kane, Jonathan Taves, Brent Seabrook, Duncan Keith.
I had a Kane jersey.
Kane is awesome. Kane's probably the best American ever.
I'm not going to lie to you. You just said a bunch of names to me, and I'm just slowly trying to absorb this the best that I can.
I had a Kane jersey.
That's okay. But
Seattle Kraken
are excited.
Come on, I know that one.
They missed out on the playoffs.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
That's a dope jersey right there. The Maple
Come on,
Leafs.
bro. The blue.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
They haven't won since 1967.
The Maple Leafs.
Yeah,
man.
They might have to relocate.
And they're playing Boston the first round. So that's a tough series for them.
The Bruins.
Mm-hmm. That's a big rivalry too. Original 6.
Oh wow.
So who's the original 6?
You want to guess?
Yeah, hell yeah, I'll guess.
Okay.
I'm going to say, you just said 2 of them. So Boston Bruins, Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah, so there's 4 in America, 2 in Canada. So you got 2. So you have one more in Canada.
I don't know the Canadian teams. I'm going to throw it out there. Winnipeg Jets?
No. But that is a team, but no.
Damn. Okay, so
that's a good guess though.
I'm going to say
they're more newer. They're more of a newer franchise.
Did you say the Canadians?
No, I didn't. Go ahead.
The Canadians?
Absolutely. So there's 3.
Okay, so there's 3. There's 3 more.
Yeah, so you have Boston.
The Philly Flyers.
No. They were an expansion team in the 60s, 70s.
Wow. The Rangers?
The Rangers are an
Let's
original.
Nice.
Okay. I'm going to say the original.
It's not really, like, just, by the way, you can't just name every team and then, like, luckily just, land on it.
I want to see
So,
my very best.
You got New York, you got Toronto, you got Montreal, and you got Boston.
Yeah.
So you have
2 more.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna say 2 more guesses, and even if I'm wrong, just tell me what's right. You know what? I'll do one, you do one.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah.
Put you on a spot.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna say the Islanders.
No, they were in the 70s. They were a dynasty in the 80s. They won 4 Stanley Cups in a row from 80 to 83.
In a row?
Mm-hmm.
Whew.
I'm just gonna say like the only team I can think of.
Let's hear it.
The Panthers.
They were very modern.
Oh man,
I can imagine.
Were
Because Florida,
he laughed at you.
No, because not just
because like Florida though.
They're awesome now.
The Panthers.
Well, you said every other team.
I don't know.
You took all the teams.
That's the only ones I know.
All the teams that I could have known you took.
Go closer to like Midwest. Let's get off the East Coast.
The Stars.
That's too south.
Dallas Stars.
That's too south. They're expansion.
Come on, see, I know.
Come on,
bro.
This is man. I'm telling you, this you're reaching the extent of my hockey knowledge
I did
now.
mention the team not too long ago.
You're doing this blindly either, too.
Talking about
by the
recent
way.
dynasties.
Oh man,
That's not the Kings. So LA
it's
was
not
expansion.
the Kings. Oh,
Who did Dave? You had a jersey of this guy.
Oh yeah, what'd
The
you say?
Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks. So Chicago Blackhawks are an original 6
Really?
franchise.
Yeah. Makes sense. Up north gets cold.
Yeah, that does make sense.
Probably
Right
the
on
best
border.
jersey in the NHL, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
You know what?
Blackhawks one
we
is pretty
we
dope.
talk a
Rangers
lot
are
about jerseys on the show.
Okay.
Ranked. You don't have to give your whole 5, but if you were to pick maybe 3 of the best jerseys in hockey, and you just said the Blackhawks is number 1.
Rangers are 2 for sure.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
Stamp it.
Rangers are
Okay,
awesome.
without skipping a beat.
I
you
throw
said
that jersey on
shit.
all the time, and I'm like, man, this is such a cool.
With
That's
the
a nice one.
R.A. Come on,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Oh my God.
And then number 3, ooh,
Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs is up there.
It's tough. Maple Leafs is tough.
I would probably go with the Montreal Canadiens.
Okay.
I like the stripes. If you can nail
Yeah.
stripes, some stripes are a little too obnoxious. A lot of teams do like alternate jerseys.
Right.
Like Ottawa did one with like red and black and white stripes.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Is it vertical stripes or horizontal stripes?
They did vertical.
Okay.
So like, Montreal's is horizontal.
Right.
So I would go, and the 3 original 6 teams. So I would go Rangers. Chicago,
That's interesting.
Rangers, Montreal.
You didn't do that on purpose.
No, it's just like the old school jerseys.
You
just
can't
work.
beat the classics.
Yeah, it's like I like a lot of throwback jerseys with like NBA, MLB. Like I like the old Vancouver Grizzlies. That's one of my favorite logos.
Yeah.
That's one of my
That's a
favorite
good
logos in all sports. And that like teal, like seeing like Ja wear that, like that was pretty. When they
yeah.
brought them back. Oh, but the last original 6 team, the Detroit Red Wings.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's another tough jersey too.
That
but
is
it's
a tough
hard.
jersey too.
It's
That's a
hard
tough
because
one.
it's like it's
Yeah.
just red and white. But like
Yeah.
when you simplicity sometimes just works.
Simplicity is
It
key.
goes with everything.
Like Toronto. Like Toronto's just blue and white, but it
Yeah.
works. And then they do like a St. Pat's jersey because that was their
Yeah.
old team name
Oh, that's
for
cool.
green and white.
That's
Toronto
nice.
St. Pat's.
That's hard.
You see
That's
an Austin
nice.
Matthews jersey in that? That's one of the toughest.
Mixed with your
sweaters.
Celtics background, you're probably like, yo, this is it. This is all I need right here.
Probably.
What do they call? Do they call it a jersey? They don't call it a jersey, right?
Sweaters.
They call it sweaters.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So you don't have a Rangers jersey.
You have a Rangers sweater.
Yeah.
But you're talking about that's the one that has the strings.
Because
when
back in
the-
the day.
No, I'm saying like what they wear on the ice.
No,
They-
that's
they,
what I'm.
They call them sweaters.
Oh, okay,
Sweaters.
I understand.
It's because back in the day they used to be made of this like heavy material, like almost like wool, like they like.
So
back
it
in
was a sweater.
pretty much, and but then like obviously like when you start to sweat and you get the moisture from the ice on
Yeah,
your
you're
jersey,
right.
you're weighing yourself down.
Right,
Exactly.
right.
So by like
Water
the
weight.
by like the 70s they started doing like the mesh material,
Mm-hmm.
and then they started doing screen printing jerseys, but then those would start to peel, so then they did stitched.
Isn't screen printing what they're doing in the MLB right now?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the
I
finesse.
don't think anybody does.
Yeah.
Although the Met jersey that came out yesterday was fire.
Way
Yeah.
too many dick prints.
Yeah, too many.
Way too many. I'll tell you that right here, right now.
I don't know where you're going with that at first.
No,
I
that's
was like,
literally all I'm gonna say
Yeah.
about that.
No
It's
Diddy.
no Diddy. Look, no Diddy. But people keep like throwing that on like the feed, like for like
no, I hear what
media.
You're saying. I hear what you're saying.
They'll like, I remember right before the season started, they were like screenshotting all the preseason people playing, and we're like, yo, what is this?
But the City Edition, right, for the Mets, that's what they're called.
Yeah,
those are
City
nice.
Connect. Yeah,
City Connect. There you go. Those are nice. The all black, black with the little,
the purple
nice.
in it. It's got the tie for the 7-line train for Queens.
Oh.
That's what I wanted. I wanted something
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was. They nailed it. I think.
I'm gonna tell you this, and we've said this before with other Met fans, with Petey on the show before, and we'll say it with you now. The truth is, I think that Citi Field, might be nicer than Yankee Stadium.
Oh, that's not even a debate. It's not a debate
I think
at all.
so. Me personally, Yankee fans are gonna hate me, but I think so.
I'm so biased because I've been to Citi Field more than Yankee Stadium. However, it's easier to get to Yankee Stadium than Citi Field. Like that's kind of the reason why I don't go to a lot of Met games. Is you got to go out there. Like you got to take NJ Transit. To me, my way to Queens is NJ Transit gets you to New York Penn, Madison Square Garden. Then you got to transfer over to LIRR. Then you got to take 2 stops. And
love this.
Yeah, and you got to go to Mets Willets Point.
Speak on the struggle of being a New Jersey person that roots for New York sports.
It's all my teams.
Real quick.
Right. Yeah, it's...
For real.
For the Rangers, it's easy. The Rangers and the Knicks, it's easy. You take the train and you're right under Madison Square Garden.
Right.
Like, fun fact, like the garden floor is the 4th floor of MSG because the 1st floor is the train below you.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
My mind was blown when I was a kid when I found out. Like, we're underneath Madison Square Garden right now. Yeah.
That is kind of crazy, but obviously it's like it's like cemented to the floor,
Yeah,
right? So
and
you
like
can't hear nothing.
Right,
it's not
right,
like
right.
you're not interactive
And it's
with
like
what's going on.
I think when you get to the top of the ceiling of MSG, which is so iconic up there, like just looking at it.
Right.
I'll be there Tuesday for Game 2 between the Rangers and Caps.
Yeah. So go tune in to him on Tuesday. What's the date? The 23rd.
23rd, man.
23rd. Go tune in with Jeremy.
There you go.
I'm awesome. Yeah, my whole feed is gonna be just the Garden, Rangers, Rangers, everything Rangers. I get excited.
Jeremy, actually, now that we're quickly back on the subject of hockey, how does this point system work? Because I'm
for standings.
Yeah, because I'm not.
Good question.
It is. It is a little confusing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is it not the same as soccer?
No.
So I was wrong.
Soccer is 3 points for a win. Hockey is 2.
Oh. Okay.
So a regulation win. So if you win a game within the 60 minutes of 3 periods, it's 2 points, and then obviously the loser gets nothing.
Okay.
If you take a tie into the 3rd period into overtime,
right,
both teams get 1.
And
if you win in either overtime, 3-on-3 overtime, which is what I love. I love 3-on-3 overtime.
Right.
Used to be 4-on-4. If you win in either 3-on-3 overtime or a shootout, you get the additional point for the win. And then all those stats, all the, they call it row, so regulation, overtime wins. That's for tiebreakers that come down to for playoff seeding, which was pretty close. How the Washington Capitals got the last slot for the Eastern Conference. It came down to practically the last day of the season.
Oh, that's crazy.
And teams needed a regulation win. So the Flyers, who were playing the Capitals, they needed to win in regulation. They ended up pulling the goalie when they were tied in the 3rd period. So the Capitals scored on an empty net to get a free win.
Wow.
So it caused a little bit of drama.
Wow.
Because teams like Detroit were battling for a playoff spot.
Yeah.
And they won in a shootout, so they got their win. But because Washington got their win because of an empty netter, Washington got the
So who's to blame for that? Specifically.
Who's to blame? I mean,
to pull the goalie out like that.
No, because if I'll dive a little bit deeper.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think the Detroit Red Wings should have been locked up with this playoff spot a month ago. But they went on a skid. And when you go on a skid, they shouldn't have to be playing for the final.
Skid being a losing streak.
Right, exactly. I think it was something around, they dropped 6 of 7 6 in a row, 5 in a row. And those 2 points are crucial come the end of the season.
Yeah.
Now, I'm talking from a Ranger perspective, but I'm also talking from a hockey perspective too. I'm a fan of the game first.
Right.
I love hockey, then I like the Rangers. If that makes any sense.
No, yeah, that makes
all the sense.
I love the game itself. I love how it is, but I try to be as impartial as I can. I do show my Ranger bias. Obviously.
You got to.
I cover the team for a living, and I do all that. But I think that
our biases are all over the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, literally.
You're sitting behind your
welcome.
bias.
They're on our chairs.
Robbie Anderson.
They're on our chairs.
Chosen.
Come on,
right
Chosen. His name is Chosen. You're right.
That's
You're right.
legal. That's legal now. But
I'm not gonna lie to you. No, hell no. Oh my god.
But no,
that's
but
hilarious.
yeah. So like, who's to blame? Yeah. Philly pulling their goalie with a tie is obviously it's a little like they were just trying. Right. They were trying for 2 points and they didn't get it. And Washington basically were gifted the last playoff spot. Right. And they just capitalized, no pun intended, on an opportunity.
I see what you did there. See, it just rolls off the tongue without even trying.
It's easy. It's easy.
I tried.
I'm telling you, man. It's almost as if he does this for a living.
Wow.
I tried.
But
no, I appreciate you said that, Dave, because like the point system is so like it's not off of just wins and losses and like the NBA like the NBA and the NFL are solely off of record like point systems. There's so much in analytics now where you can just like there's a stat for everything.
Yeah. And
with all like regulation, overtime wins, and but they only had like. You get those points for overtime losses. The problem with the Rangers this year was they had the most points in the league, but they didn't have a lot of overtime losses. They won a lot of their games. Right. So their record, if I'm not mistaken, was like 55, 20 something and 4.
You want to proof check that?
It was like
let's see how
it was.
Rangers.
I know they had 55 wins. It was like 24 losses and maybe. So I'm trying to do my math because it'll add up to 82.
Okay. Do a
but a lot of teams have like 10 overtime losses. So that's 10 free points just for going to overtime.
That's insane.
Yeah, but the Rangers were a very talented team, and they were there. I think they had somewhere about like 11 games that went to the like extended period, and they won a lot of them. So like a lot of teams like Toronto, I think the Islanders, like they go to overtime, but they'll fall short. But they get that one point. So that's what it comes down to. It's just like you can call it out like one stretch, one game, but yeah.
But 11 times in a row, that's more so just overall.
Yeah,
success.
I don't know if it was. I'm trying to remember like the exact number of the skid, but like the month of March was just so tough for Detroit. They just went through this really bad stretch, and they traded for Patrick Kane, who Dave mentioned, and I will attest like he's the greatest American hockey player of our generation. When he was on Chicago, a Patrick Kane.
He was a Black Hawk.
A Patrick Kane highlight tape is fun to watch.
Oh, that's
His
good.
shootout moves are.
I gotta watch it.
He's got the. You want to hear a hockey term?
Yeah, let's hear it.
He's got the silkiest mitts in the league. You know what
silkiest mitts.
What is that?
Hands.
Well, obviously hands, but silkiest mitts.
Silky mitts.
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Silky?
Jesus. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Come on, bro. Oh, so what does that mean necessarily?
Like that, like he's really good at like stick handling, puck handling. Yeah, it's just like
it's like saying it's like the equivalent to saying someone has handles.
Exactly.
Basically, like you're shifty with the puck and you can move and that. Okay, I like that.
Exactly. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, he's a fun player. He was a Ranger last year, and the run fell short last year in the first round. They lost to the Devils.
But that was like the end of his career, kind of.
Well, he was playing hurt, so we had to get hip surgery. So we got that. So he didn't play at the beginning of the season, and then was like a free agent, and basically said, okay, like I'm healthy, I'm gonna sign for whoever. And the Rangers were a team that were interested in him. They wanted to bring him back. Detroit was very interested. At one point, the Florida Panthers were very interested in Patrick Kane, and the Dallas Stars. So there were 4 contenders. He wanted to play for a contender.
Right.
And the future of Detroit was bright, and they were contending for a playoff spot, but it just didn't work out for the Red Wings at the end.
So I have a question for you.
Sure.
We could probably. You got any more hockey questions? I got one.
No, I just wanted to because I didn't want to interrupt you. What was the record you said it was?
Oh, okay.
You said 55 something.
It's 50. I know it's 55 wins because that's the most in their franchise history.
Shout out Rangers.
Okay. See if I can do math here real quick. 50,
Let's do it.
I don't know. It was like 55, 20, 23, and 4.
You got it.
Let's go. Come on, bro. Gotta
give
flowers and flowers are due, bro.
Appreciate it.
So look, I got one more thing for you. So, as someone who's trying to get into hockey now. Mm-hmm. I've heard recently, but I don't really know too much detail about it, that they've tried to update the rules about the penalty box. Is that something that is about to be in motion or like is in motion?
Like what? Like what have you been hearing?
Like decreasing the amount of time
Oh, as a for penalties?
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything about that, but so you're saying that you've heard like
rumor about changing the structure of the game in general.
That is interesting. Because a minor penalty, like a regular penalty, like if I trip Dave, that's 2 minutes for me.
Right.
And I sit out for 2 minutes unless
2 minutes is really nothing.
Unless his team scores on the power play, then then it's over, then I come out of the box.
Right.
So like penalties differ. You got your minors, which is like your standard penalties. Mm-hmm. A double minor, which is the most common double minor penalty, is like, say I high stick Cody in the face.
Right.
You draw blood. That's an extra 2 minutes.
Any blood.
Okay. So people do like, I don't know.
Nobody makes me bleed my own blood.
That's a great reference. Dodgeball.
I'm sorry. I have seen the movie. It was a long time ago.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie though.
It's hilarious.
Steve That's the
my milkshake then that I went to the yard. And,
Lobo Jim, Average Joe's.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
But... Okay, so double minors, any blood, 2 minutes.
And then you're...
So a regular minor and a double minor both get you 2 minutes?
No, double minor's 4.
4 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. And then your major penalties, which they can range from fighting, which is 5 minutes. So like the major penalties you have to serve all minutes for. Like you can't you can have a 5-minute power play, but if someone has a 5-minute power play, they have a power play for the entirety of the penalty.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's not like you can score and the power play's over.
Like it stays that way for the whole 5 minutes.
Yeah, those are like
no
your boarding, like your boardings. Like you can't, because fighting is offsetting. Because obviously,
I wanted to ask actually, how was the fighting? Like, are you just like, because why do I feel like the other night, not the other night, but maybe a couple weeks ago, I was watching. Yeah, and everybody just threw their gloves down and got at it. As soon as the game started, got at it.
It's part of the game.
Not to the.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that's extreme. Like
they got at
five
it.
Fights at once.
Everybody threw
and four
got at it.
Four guys on each team got ejected, so 8 guys were out for the.
And got at it.
And it was 3 seconds in.
It was that intense.
Okay, so
I heard about it, but I thought it was just.
I seen the video.
It's not like the fight is staged, but sometimes they kind of just like.
Listen, I seen the they was fighting.
They kind of circle each other in the ice.
Ain't no circling.
Hyped up like yeah.
Nah, they was fighting. Really. They was fighting.
And all 8 of them got ejected.
So there were
8 of them of the 10.
8 of the 10. So the 2 guys that started got 5-minute penalties, and then the other 8 got ejected because there's a rule that like if a fight follows with a fight, those guys are out. Like you can't have. The league is trying to stop. The league is trying to basically get rid of fighting in a way.
They won't.
I don't know because it's part of the game. Yeah. It's part of the nature of hockey. But the reason why that happened was the Rangers have a player on their team by the name of Matt Rempe. He's 6'8", probably 7 foot on skates.
Is this the dirt? Is the T?
It's not T. This is all.
Got at it.
Right.
The last time before that Devil game, he got ejected for elbowing Jonas Siegenthaler. What a hell of a name that is.
Siegenthaler.
Yeah, Siegenthaler. Jonas Siegenthaler.
Okay.
So he elbowed him in the head, got a penalty, and then their fighter, the Devils fighter, Curtis McDermott, challenged him to a fight, and Rempe would not go. Rempe was not dropping his gloves, and he got pissed. Like, come on, you know, whatever. All the calling, whatever. Wouldn't fight. He got the gate, got ejected, and after the game, Curtis McDermott was like, you know, he had to step up for that hit. It's a dirty hit. He's got to answer the bell. That's the code.
Yeah, that's what it is.
The hockey code.
Yeah.
This final outing between the Rangers and the Devils, they were like, okay, they started the line on purpose.
Right.
Rempe started like he's not.
They knew what they were out there for.
They knew what they were doing.
Got at it.
I
love it.
And 5 fights ensued. And it was mayhem.
See, bro, but that's fire, though.
Look, that is fire.
Even though, look, he just said it's dangerous. There's 10 people fighting on a wide open floor all at once.
You have 2 refs and 2 linesmen trying to break everything up.
Exactly. So you got 4 people trying to split up 10.
There was blood.
So yes, it's dangerous, but at the same time, imagine
blood on the ice.
Imagine being right there on the glass.
That's what I'm saying.
Knock him out. You know what I mean?
Get at it.
Oh my God.
Yo, but question.
What?
But
Jerry would have jumped over the glass.
But that doesn't answer my question. So when is fighting essentially like allowed? Like, when are these guys allowed to get...
It's another good question.
A bad hit. Like,
yeah.
If you see, like, a bad hit, usually guys, like, you call them enforcers. Goons are like another term that you can
I've
call
heard
them.
that. Yeah.
Right.
If they go after like a talented player, like a star-studded player, usually they're gonna get responded by their goon, the other goon on the opposing team. They're gonna be like, "You want to go? Like, let's go.
Let's go, right?
Let's go." And the best part is like after the fight, after just like beating the piss out of each other, they'll acknowledge like in the box, like, "Hey, good fight. That was awesome."
And how does like the ref let it go? How does he know to like
when to break it up?
Yeah, or essentially, like
all right, enough is enough. Get up.
Yeah, well, I mean, because afterwards everybody gets, I guess, like
after the
a
play,
penalty, right?
And
like
everybody
gets
there's like a scrum.
Yeah,
I think
both of them get time in the box, right?
Yeah, so
that kind of fight is considered what kind of penalty?
That's just a major. That's a 5-minute major.
So
for
5
fighting.
minutes, just off top, whatever.
Right.
Now you can get an instigator, like if you can.
Oh!
Yeah, you can get an instigator penalty. Like if you start the fight in a way where like the guy like didn't want to fight, that is all like referees.
Oh, I thought you meant like his boy backing him up, like behind.
No, but there is a.
Oh!
There is a third man in penalty.
No, he didn't.
You gonna let him do you like that?
And then he's behind him. Chill,
bro.
You won't.
My gloves are still on, man. I'm not fighting.
That's funny.
No, but like the
instigator. It's actually like the literal term for it.
So yeah, he would get like a 2-minute instigator and a 5-minute for fighting.
Yeah.
So, but the refs will let it go. Like they want to see two guys like agreeing to fight at the same time.
Okay.
Like they'll let it go. If the guys start getting tired, once they hit the ice, then they break it up.
Right.
I'm always afraid when I see these guys take off their gloves with the skates. I'm like, is a finger gonna come off?
Yeah.
I'm like, every time I see one,
You gotta be careful.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the instigator.
Has that ever happened?
What's
Do you
that?
know?
What's that?
Do you
A
know
finger?
of?
Cut
a
off
finger, like while a
They
fight
have those
happening?
gloves on though.
No, but they take the gloves off
Not
and they
to
get at it.
Not to get like dark, but like a guy in England died playing hockey because the skate came up and.
I've seen that.
Now,
right across his neck.
That's why
My goodness.
goalies wear now. It's if they want to or not. It's not mandatory.
It's up to their discretion.
Those masks that come like down here,
They
right?
wear the goalie mask, and then they got like a piece of like it's like a hard like plastic that
yeah.
goes right below their throat.
like a neck cup.
Yeah, I've seen that,
guard.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly what that is.
Yeah.
But
Because when they're diving for the puck or whatever, and
you
guys
got
are like,
sticks
Yeah.
and skates,
And there's
guys,
people also trying to.
your neck
your
is
own
super vulnerable.
defensemen end up on their ass, and they got their skates up.
That's
Yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
It's when people fall. It's
Keeping
not.
the people
No one's
down.
coming at you like.
No,
You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
yeah,
but it's
that's
like,
your job.
you push someone out, they slip out, your feet
That's
kick in
scary
the air,
stuff.
God
Yeah.
forbid.
That's
And they're
scary
already
stuff.
on their knees.
Scary
You
stuff.
know what I mean?
Scary
That's
stuff.
crazy, bro.
Yeah, but the game to me is getting safer and safer every day. But I mean, when you see that guy, I believe his name was
The guy that passed away?
Yeah, his last name was Johnson. He was playing in Nottingham in England. So like, it was a real scary thing. It was like it turned into like an investigation. Like the guy that did the act of slicing him. I don't know if anything came about with that.
Like he wasn't prosecuted for it?
Yeah, I thought there was an arrest made, but I think he got like I don't know if it's still
Maybe like
ongoing.
manslaughter or something.
Yeah,
like that.
but in the league, I haven't seen somebody get badly sliced in a while, and it happens.
Thank God.
Like it
Yeah,
does
thank
happen.
goodness.
Like, yeah, but like you get a puck to the face, a stick to the face all the
Yeah.
time. You
Yeah,
lose a
hell
couple
no. Teeth.
spitting chiclets. You know
Spitting
what I'm saying?
chiclets, yeah.
Is that what that is? Spitting chiclets.
Tooth out.
That's why they name.
You might catch some spitting chiclets, some trash pandas,
Hey,
or
man.
what have you.
Product of getting at it, man.
All in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Chattanooga Outlook. Look out.
Look
I'm
out.
here thinking about my email. All right, enough is enough. But I think on that note, we put the hockey down for a second.
Mm-hmm.
It's about
We
time
did.
we get into what the episode's about.
Hell
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
You get what I'm saying? My boy's
sir.
ready. Not playing games with anybody. We're gonna get into this mock draft. And from the looks of it, it sounds a little exciting. It sounds like you think someone's gonna pull something out of their sleeve.
I think so. I do think that one of these teams are gonna go and try to get their guy. A
Yep.
guy that now all these meetings are public. Anytime an NFL team has a meeting with a player, it's all public information. Every beat writer, every insider is all posting about it on Twitter. To me, the one team that's gonna try to move up,
Yeah.
it might make sense for them.
Let's hear it. I know who you're gonna say.
Well, do you want me to start in order, or do you want me to start with the team that I think is?
Let's go in order. Let's go in order. What you think from 1, and then go down.
So number 1, this pick should have belonged to the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
This was to me, it's going to turn out to be one of the biggest trades. This
in the sport.
At so much respect to Bryce Young, he's a rookie. He just finished his rookie year.
Right.
He still has room to grow. However, when you have one of the best NFL draft prospects in a long time sitting at number 1, Chicago has found a diamond in the rough, and it's Caleb Williams out of USC.
Come on, bro.
That's so.
Is it chalk?
We're. Well, I know I'm not all that high. I'm not all that high on him.
I mean, he didn't have a great season.
I haven't seen enough personally. I mean, okay, continue. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry.
Like, I just think it's too predictable at this point.
Yeah.
Now, like,
there's no way it couldn't be him.
Right. I think everything is just pointing in his direction. Now, there was a rumor that came out, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, that apparently J.J. McCarthy is also being looked
as a
at
number 1.
As number 1.
Now that
is
ridiculous.
Awful.
Now that's
I think
ridiculous.
that's awful. To be honest with you, I mean, look, and nothing bad to say about J.J. McCarthy. He's a good athlete.
Yeah.
He's not number 1.
No.
He's not, bro.
He's not my number 1, but he's not.
He's not even number 1 quarterback.
It's Caleb.
Of course.
It's Caleb.
Now, the other person, I mean, we're gonna go down it. It's no mystery to anybody the names that are on this list, or any prior information that anybody might have about these people. But to me, if it's not Caleb, it's Marvin Harrison Jr.
Number 1.
Number 1.
I think he's the best. I think he's the best athlete in the draft.
Yeah, come on, bro. They say he could be even better than his dad.
He's up. That's
shout
tough.
out Marvin Harrison
That's what
Senior.
they're saying.
That's
shout
tough.
out senior. Shout out senior.
Yeah, shout out
That's
senior.
tough.
Because senior was a dog.
Those Colts
Dog.
teams with him and Reggie Wayne and Peyton just slinging balls.
Come on, dude.
It was the best team in Madden.
Oof. Come on.
He was jumping over anybody.
Yeah, he was a freak athlete at Ohio State.
Yeah.
But we'll get into him because I have him not too far.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Not too
So
far from here. But,
So number 2.
So number 2 belongs to the Commanders, who, I mean, this NFC East is like, well, I think every NFC East team has a lot to do. I think Dallas shit the bed in free agency.
Of course.
I think they should have done something.
They're used to that, though.
They needed a running back. If you would have told me, I would have put money on Derrick Henry ending up as a Cowboy.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Rico
we thought the
Dowdle.
same thing.
I thought it was like a match made in heaven.
That is their running back.
Dowdle, baby.
Rico Dowdle. You know what that is?
I know Deuce Vaughn, but like...
No, it's not Deuce Vaughn. It's
Rico Dowdle.
Don't disrespect his name. It's Rico Dowdle.
Dowdle?
Dowdle.
That's because they lost Pollard.
Yeah.
So they got Dowdle.
To Tennessee.
So now it's Dowdle.
Oh, jeez.
Drop Pollard, pick up Dowdle.
But now Derrick Henry is in Baltimore.
Right.
So then where does that leave? I mean, I don't know. There's been a lot of speculation in general, and I agree with what you're saying about the Commanders, because we went through a list one day a couple weeks ago of like all the teams that have made the most offseason moves. Washington. Washington is either number 1 or number 2 most moves.
They made a bunch.
At like 20.
And with those moves, a rookie quarterback comes in.
Come on.
I think it's going to be Jaden Daniels.
Ooh, really?
Daniels at 2. Now the lines on
Really?
FanDuel are changing.
Damn.
This is,
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
So Jaden Daniels at number 2, he
man.
kind of reminds me of like, it's the same kind of story that Joe Burrow kind of went through. The same school that they found a home.
Yep.
So long story short, when
LSU.
I was looking at grad schools, I went out to Arizona State.
There you go.
Arizona State has a great program. Went there for a weekend. I think it was a little longer than a weekend. But while I was there,
it's a little blurry, huh?
while I was there, Arizona State was playing Colorado. Believe it or not, the quarterback of Arizona State, and I just completely forgot about it. The quarterback of Arizona State was Jaden Daniels.
Wow.
Oh no
So
way!
I saw Jaden Daniels before he transferred to LSU. And I remember thinking, like, wow, like this quarterback, he's pretty mobile. He can find his targets. He's got a good eye. He's got decent arm strength, and he can just move the ball. Turns out he goes and gets or transfers to LSU, finds a home, plays under Brian Kelly, who I know and used to love when he was the coach at Notre Dame.
Right.
and found a great home in the SEC. And look, you go from the Pac-12, because if you're not USC or Oregon or Washington, you kind of get overshadowed in the Pac-12.
Right.
You go to a big powerhouse like LSU in the SEC, and now you're a projected, and in my opinion, number two pick in the draft. So that's where Washington, their offseason pays off. They get the rookie quarterback, start over. No disrespect to Sam Howell, but kind of disrespect to Sam Howell. Like, is he the guy? I don't know. Bring in Jaden Daniels and they can compete.
I think if Jaden Daniels can blossom as a starting rookie, which I don't really believe in general.
Rookie quarterbacks are so hard to analyze and stuff. But
I think we had this conversation. I think this is a conversation I was having with my family, but there was, off the top of my head, 3 rookies that started the year off starting, being C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, and Anthony Richardson. The only one that didn't get a chance, was Anthony Richardson. And then you get one that was amazing and one with the worst record in football. So it really can go either way.
Anthony Richardson just couldn't stay healthy. Like, he showed sign of promise, too. And I think he's going to be fine. But it's 2 injuries in a rookie year.
But Indianapolis is way more structured right now than Washington is going into next year. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If you ask me, like, they kind of just scrambled for help. And that's not to say that Sam Howell is horrible.
No.
Because he did lead the league in passing yards up until week 7 or week 8.
You're talking to guys that have seen Zach Wilson week in and
Listen,
week out.
bro, I don't even want to talk about that.
I got a question for you about that.
To be honest.
I got a question for you about him later.
How does he always come into the conversation? Like, what is it? What's going on?
I don't know, dude. We're
He's
Jets
like
fans.
It's always Zach. No, they haunt us in our nightmares.
He's that bad smell that just lingers. And
Actually, I'm gonna ask it now before we get there. just to get it out the way.
Zach Wilson was the number 2 pick in his draft class.
So clearly,
Sam Darnold was 3,
you're gonna agree. You're gonna agree that we don't want Zach Wilson there, right?
Right.
We don't want him. So the question for you is:
we,
the
3 of us, right?
If the Jets want him there, I don't know, but I know we don't want him there. But with that being said, do we release him or do we trade him?
Who wants him? Like, who's willing to give up? Now, it'll probably be for, like, a 7th rounder.
Yeah, that's
you
what
ever seen that Kodak meme? Nobody. Because listen. Nobody.
I think he gets released at the end of the day because I do think the Jets will draft a quarterback on day 3.
He didn't show up at practice.
Yeah, no.
Before the beginning of the season?
Before the beginning of the regular season? Yeah. I think maybe come like right before training camp. I think he gets released.
I like that.
Yeah.
They got to draft first.
I like that.
Yeah, get the draft because I do think they take a quarterback because this draft class is loaded at quarterback.
Right.
And it's loaded in the sense that there are some guys, some sleepers. Like the prime example is Brock Purdy. You can take a guy at the last pick of the draft and he could turn into a starter. He could turn into a guy that, goes to the NFC Championship.
So you're a Brock Purdy believer.
I like Brock Purdy. Maybe the team around him is good and he's got a great coach, but that also helps.
Yeah.
I think, someone like Shanahan, he's a wizard.
Yeah. You hear that? You hear that little thing?
A little bit.
I hear like a little thing. I'm trying to.
It's Zach Wilson.
That's what it is. It's something haunting our recording right now. It sounds like something. I don't know. You want to try and pause it and fix it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. Please hold by. Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Stand by.
Stand by.
Yeah, it's a lot of static now.
It's not my.
Boom. So then, yeah, man, we're back from the technical difficulties. From the first time that you do anything, it has to be corrected, it has to be fixed, and you learn about the bumps on the road, what have you. So that was our first one.
So what we were talking about was Zach Wilson getting traded or released.
Definitely released. I was hoping they could find a trade partner, but like now with free agency kind of on the tail end, people are like, teams have found their QB2s and maybe QB3s and I don't know, I don't know who would if any team called Joe Douglas for Zach Wilson. Honestly, and it sucks too because as a person, you feel for him. You hope he can do well, but he's not going to get any more time in New York.
That's the thing.
His time is done in New York.
Is he done in the NFL?
I think so.
Maybe Dwayne The Rock Johnson gives him a call for the UFL.
Oh, that I could see. And you know what? Players have come back from...
They have.
Like, before when it wasn't UFL and it was XFL, like pre-COVID, yo, there was players... PJ Walker, perfect example.
Yeah.
Houston Roughnecks came out for the Texans.
There you go.
Didn't even... That's what it was. Yep. Come on, we root for the UFL around here, bro. I'm a Battle Hawk fan.
Let's go.
Yeah. Come on, dude. You gotta
Brahmas.
Come on, bro.
Brahmas.
What was the other one? I think the one that was really cool because we were talking about cool names.
Yeah.
What was it? The Memphis Showboats.
Yeah, there you go. The Showboats.
Come on, dude. The Showboats, man.
The DC Defenders.
It's sick, bro. But all right. So that was who you had at number 2.
Number 2. So now we go to number 3.
Let's hear number 3.
The New England Patriots are on the clock. This is Gerard Mayo's first year head coach.
You already know.
Bill Belichick. But Drake May is the pick at number 3.
I hear it. I didn't doubt it for a second.
Drake May is the pick here at number 3. To me, this is my favorite quarterback from the class.
Really?
Yeah. I just as a college football fan, I give a lot of props to University of North Carolina. Like for a while, it was like, oh, UNC solely a basketball school, but as the ACC's gotten somewhat stronger, now we're in the age of like all these power conferences, and,
right?
You know, Oregon and USC are joining the Big Ten. It's like it's going to be insanity.
Yeah.
But UNC has grown as a program, and Drake May's really solidified that. And before him was Sam Howell.
I was just, you know what?
Sam Howell was right before him, and then Drake May has taken over the reins at Chapel Hill. And he'll find himself in an AFC East team, a team that's in a rebuild, a team that he can be the QB1 there. And over a first-year head coach, a first-year quarterback, it could be a match. You know, it could be a match.
So I got 2 things to say about that.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Please. No, go ahead.
The first thing I wanted to say to you, because you brought up Sam Howell before and about how, you know, he's not necessarily anything to be excited about looking into Washington's future. So it's interesting to see how you put that perspective on Sam Howell, but Drake May is your favorite, even though they're compared. So where does that leave you?
I don't know. I mean, like it's just from like a personal standpoint.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
a good kid.
Yeah, like he's just a good guy, you know.
Yeah.
I've also heard that too. Like, oh, the family's great. I'm like, oh, I really don't care. Can he win the games or not?
Yeah. His family's not gonna, line up
because he's gonna be in a conference or in a division rather where you're gonna be locked and loaded with Buffalo, Miami, and the Jets. And with a healthy Jets team.
Hey now,
come on,
you're an all-star.
The truth is, if he does end up in New England, they're kind of banking on him right now. I mean, they're not. I mean,
because I forget they brought back Jacoby Brissett.
Jacoby Brissett is the best backup in football, if you ask me.
Yeah.
And then if
we might have the best backup in quarterback.
Tyrod
Taylor.
Oh no.
He can't stay healthy though. He wasn't healthy last.
Jacoby Brissett's a really good guy.
Jacoby Brissett is.
If you ask me, I think he's the best.
He used to be Teddy Bridgewater.
If you're talking about that was it for a while.
Teddy
B.
But right now, everybody already knows my stand on Tyrod Taylor is your solution for an old quarterback with leg issues is not another old quarterback with leg issues.
That's why we're gonna draft one on day 3 and compete for QB2.
What I say? What did I say?
All right.
We have a man to stand, in my opinion. Back in the day, it was me, David, and our boy Petey, and I said, the Jets are going to take a quarterback the first day. They said, you're out of your mind.
For day 1?
Day 1.
I don't think they won.
No, not day 1.
Not round 1. Day 1.
No, day 1 is only round 1.
Yeah.
So day 2 is rounds 2 and 3, and then day 3 is 4 through 7. So I'm saying the late rounds. I think they're going to find someone maybe like a Jordan Travis.
Well, then never mind.
You think they're going to draft one in the first round?
No, I don't think they're going to take one. I don't think they're going to take
round 2
as late as people say.
Round 2 would have been fine, but the Jets don't have a second round pick because that belongs to Green Bay because of Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
So it's hard. You know, it's going to be hard for them to trade up to get like somebody that they want. But I think they're just going to stay put at 10.
Yeah.
Or they can fall back.
10 is high enough, though.
10's high enough, but I can see them. We'll get into it, but I can see them trading back.
So staying in the division real quick.
Right.
Did we hear about Bill Belichick and what
I did hear about that.
And what Robert Kraft essentially told the Falcons?
He's like, I wouldn't trust him.
Yeah, it came out that he wasn't a finalist.
Dirty,
he wasn't a finalist for their head coaching position, even though he had 2 interviews with Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah.
In the final 3, it was who's the guy the guy they hired, and then there was two other
That's
names,
nuts.
and one of their names were Bill. That's crazy.
That's nasty work.
But he's gonna do well. We're gonna see him on Thursday. He's joining Pat McAfee's draft coverage.
Bill? Is he really?
He's co-hosting with Pat McAfee.
Oh man!
What is that, April 25th, the first day of the draft.
I want to see that. We gotta see that.
Watch. To be honest, I might not want to watch that.
Why not?
That boring ass that. You know what
I want to see what Bill.
Hey, what do you think, Bill? It's good.
We're just gonna focus on.
Yeah.
Is he wearing? Will he have sleeves on or off?
Oh yeah.
I hope to God he has. I'm hoping to God he's wearing a suit, like a full blown suit, but it's cut off at the sleeves. Tie and all that, just cut off at the sleeves.
Cut off at the sleeves.
Drake May's gonna be a great page.
They're gonna love him. Not we. They.
Gerard's such a great player. He's going to be an even better coach.
This is my thing, right? This is my whole thing, right? Even if that means that something must have happened that New England is not letting the world know.
Yeah.
Right?
You saw the documentary?
First, I didn't. I did not watch the documentary.
Telling?
It's eye-opening for sure. Like, it gives you a whole.
But what is it? It's about New England.
It's about the dynasty. It's all about like when Bill was with the Patriots and it starts with Robert Kraft buying the team. Then he hires Bill from the Jets.
Oh, it does the whole rundown.
Yeah, and then Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback. Yeah, he got hurt, and
that
then
whole story.
Tom Brady took over. So it's basically everything. It talks about Aaron Hernandez. It talks about
really,
Deflategate, Spygate. Everything.
Look at that.
But it's kind of like it kind of exploited Bill a little bit.
Really?
And then Bill was kind of like, I'm not gonna talk about that. Like it was kind of like it was a disappointing like. Everything that went on with like Spygate, and they associated Spygate with like one of the guys on Bill's staff.
Look at that.
And basically admitted, and he's like, I'm not gonna talk about it.
Look, bro, no disrespect to like any New England fan, but like after that Spygate stuff, I was like,
hey man, there's no love lost over here on my side for any.
I can't stand them.
So, I respect any New England stuff.
Tom,
I don't care about none of that.
All right, a third Jet fan in the room. I gotta ask you. We always talk about this. If Tom ever decided to come out of retirement, which he can't because he partially owns a team, right?
And he has broadcasting
rights, right? But let's hypothetically say he got the green light. Would you take him as a Jet?
Why not?
He was a Pat for too long, bro. That's why I say no.
He's the best quarterback to ever do it. Why not? It's.
We got top 5. We'll be okay.
Yeah, but like you saw what he did in Tampa Bay. Like took him to a Super Bowl. Like, Tampa Bay was a good team. They weren't like. Great.
I don't know, man. My heart is too much in it. We've been talking about bias. I have so much bias.
Cody, the Jets haven't won a Super Bowl since 1969.
I know. So this is our best chance probably in the last like 15.
If they could stay
and
healthy,
before that, probably our last chance in the last 15 before that. So
if you had let's say that Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers were at the same like age, same whatever the case may be.
If it was the same caliber, who would I go for?
Right.
Aaron's my favorite player of all time.
I love Aaron Rodgers. But I'm just saying, so if Tom Brady, so it was you had the choice between the two.
Aaron.
They both wanted to come to the Jets.
Aaron. Tom. I'm gonna say Aaron.
I'm gonna say Tom.
You're gonna say Tom?
Yeah.
That's really tough for me
It is tough.
because I like Aaron Rodgers more as a quarterback, but Tom Brady,
I don't want.
And I'm not, but I respect the hell out of Tom Brady. I'm not like a fan or anything like that, right. But damn, does that guy know how to win, yo?
I'm gonna tell you something right now, and you know,
and he's a tough one too. He's a tough guy.
I'm petty, right?
Bryce Petty?
Not Bryce Petty.
Pennington?
Chad? Look, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm petty, bro.
Chad, real quick, Chad Pennington was a late pick too.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 6th, 7th round, I believe, or something like that. So
out of Marshall.
Hey.
That's interesting.
Hey.
We could talk about that.
Hey.
Look, so on top of that, I think that I'm a big person when it comes to principle, right? Like I like to let people, So when the Pats' last game against the Jets,
first rounder.
Really?
Oh man.
Chad Pennington was a first rounder?
Pennington was drafted by the Jets in the first round of the 2000 draft with pick 18.
Wow.
Oh. No, but for real.
But he seemed like a late guy. Like,
he did seem like
he did.
Well, he was older because
his
he
last
was.
name's Pennington. It's like they didn't bring.
He was like 23
first.
They're
not putting his name on any.
He was like an older quarterback. He was like 23 coming out of the draft. So I don't know. I associated it with a late round pick. Sorry.
But look, listen to this. I think that because Bill Belichick's last game as head coach of the Pats was against the Jets and we beat him. I'll be happy with that forever. Forever. I don't care how much. I don't care how long he was successful against our franchise.
You only got to beat the champ once.
I'll be happy with that for life. Now, you got the greatest player of all time disrespecting your franchise for the majority of his career.
Yeah, but clearly
on a regular basis.
But clearly Tom Brady's allegiance wasn't just solely tied with the Patriots, because if he was, he would have never left.
I'm not saying it's with the Patriots, but he did it as a Patriot, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but he could do it. But if he had the opportunity to do it as a Jet, you're going to tell me you really wouldn't, like...
I'll put it to you like this. Aaron Rodgers probably disrespected the Jets 100 times. I welcomed him with open arms.
But
it's because he's a Pat.
Yeah.
It's because he's a Pat. I'm telling you. It might not make sense.
No, I know it does.
It's in my heart, though.
I hear you.
That's all I'm saying.
I hear you.
I pump green, bro.
I hear you. And I just want to say, I'm extremely happy that Aaron Rodgers is a Jet. I don't want any type of,
listen, man,
miscommunications or anything like that.
If he
I just want
Aaron Rodgers top 5. If he gets hurt,
don't switch up then.
I'm never switching up.
Don't switch up is all I'm saying. I was ready to burn my jersey.
I didn't tell you. The Aaron Rodgers jersey.
They
won that game was beautiful, but I was ready to burn that jersey, Jeremy.
Best believe now that the new unis is out, I'm getting 2 jerseys actually.
Yeah. I got excited.
I need an Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, okay.
And you know what? I've thought about this long and hard about who I want to get. Right?
I think I know who you would get.
I don't like it's me and Tough, because me and my dad are the same way. We hate getting jerseys, especially for the Jets in particular.
And the guys leave.
Right, because the guys leave. Right.
So,
however, I've thought about it long and hard.
Sauce.
Right.
No. I'm gonna get me a CJ Mosley jersey, man.
Really?
I'm gonna get me a Mosley, man. I'm gonna get me a Mosley.
Which one? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Williams. Forgive me.
No.
CJ Mosley, 57.
CJ Mosley
Just
jersey,
casually rock a 57 in your free time?
He means a lot to that defense, man.
He does. He's
the
captain.
Cap. Now, you already know.
I love Quinnen.
I have a lot of jerseys.
And Quincy.
Quincy's awesome.
The Jets have Jet fans messed up because they change the kit every know?
It's crazy.
And their ass, right?
Yeah. So by the way, Fanatics, throw a coupon or something, right?
For Jets jerseys specifically, because look, they switched
Cody's
up
corner for 20%.
Yeah, that has a little ring to it. I like Jeremy's headed. Okay, look, hear me out. I got 3 jerseys in the last 2 years because they just got this jersey that they came out.
Yeah,
Did you get the legacy one?
I don't have the legacy one.
That.
I got a Breece Hall jersey at home.
That's the only one I want. I want 2 of them, but I'm gonna get there. So I got an alternate 8 Aaron Rodgers black one.
Okay.
I got Garrett Wilson, but his 17. Now
I have
his
17
5.
in the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I got a custom Sauce Gardner, but instead of Gardner on the back, it says Sauce on it.
That's cool.
And that's the white jersey.
Nice.
Now I was like, I'm set, right? Now they got a whole new set of jerseys, right? So if I was me, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just said it. I want a Breece Hall really bad.
Yeah.
The new jersey, the green one. With the white stripe. Oh my. Oh.
Sack exchange days.
Come on, bro. Or
come on.
Give me that Quinnen Williams at 95.
Yeah, man.
Big Baby's awesome.
You can't really go wrong on a lot of these jerseys, man. You really can't, man. We got some dogs on that team.
I mean, you could go wrong with some of them, right?
Well,
I'm not pulling up to the scene with an Alan Lazard on right now.
Oh my God.
CJ Uzoma, who's no longer a Jet.
Oh my.
See, well, yeah, he just got signed somewhere else.
Eagles.
Where did he go? The Eagles.
Would you wear a Conklin jersy?
Yeah, I like Tyler Conklin.
I like them. I like them
83?
too. Yo, so this,
Tyler
so a lot of people, matter of fact, let's continue with the show because I want to talk about our picks. So
right.
Sorry.
I have a good one at number 10 for us. So
yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
All right.
Well,
so right now we're at 4.
Oh man, foreshadowing. We were talking about tight ends. He brought up number 10. Okay.
All right.
Neither here nor there.
We're at 4, correct?
We're at 4.
All right.
This is where I think a trade happens.
Ooh.
And I think a trade is going to be. The team trading up will be the New York Football Giants.
Come on, bro! I knew it. I knew you were gonna say that.
So I I saw Peter Schrager's mock draft. I saw his interview on Pat McAfee. It's so convincing now. I don't think the Giants. I don't know. I really thought they were going to go receiver. Like, as soon as this draft order came out, I'm like, they're going to get either MHJ or Malik Neighbors.
Right.
They're going to go and trade up and get J.J. McCarthy.
J.J. McCarthy, really? That's wow. You know what?
Wow.
You had me and you lost me, but it's not because
I'm not saying this is.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen either. But look, I knew you were gonna say the Giants were gonna trade up. However, I thought
for Marvin Harrison?
For Penix.
Ooh. Okay.
That's where I thought your head was
Michael
going.
Penix.
Michael Penix Jr. They just had a meeting with him last week.
Yes,
if I'm not wrong, last Thursday.
Look at you,
bro.
Look,
I know
come
what's
on.
going on.
This is what we do.
They went to dinner. He had a steak.
Right.
Fork and knife.
Fork and knife.
Salad fork.
On which side?
The left side.
Hey.
And the other fork? The right side.
Hey.
Come on, bro. This is
dude.
us being serious.
It's crazy.
But I wasn't expecting what you were saying. That's a hot one.
Yeah, no, I just think it's like written in the stars right now. Like I do think so. I think they're gonna take a quarterback, but it's like, what are they gonna do with Daniel Jones's $40 million?
That's
annually?
the thing.
Right. So like that's a lot of money on the books for Daniel.
And now
Jones.
they got Drew Lock. On top of that,
The boy.
And Tommy DeVito. They still haven't got rid of Tommy DeVito yet.
they still. Oh, he's still on the
still on the
roster
team,
because he's a rookie.
Yeah, they're gonna have 4 quarterbacks.
Tommy Colcuts?
After the draft. It's gonna be like the Jets. The Jets are gonna have 4 quarterbacks after.
So let me ask you, because I brought it up to them like a couple weeks. I mean, not a couple weeks ago. It was months ago now. Like when Tommy DeVito first had his like explosive part of being a Giant.
I was there. I was at the Giants-Packers game.
Oh, were you really?
Monday Night
That
Football
first game that he exploded.
Look at that.
Pretty much.
You
Yeah.
saw it. No, you didn't see his agent on the sideline then.
No. I think
You were there when the whole family was in the
booth.
like
Yes.
waving back and forth and all
Yeah.
that. Okay, now I want to ask you this: don't like because you're from the area. We're not gonna talk about area, but don't you remember him when we were younger?
So Tommy DeVito, yeah, he played at
Don Bosco. Yeah.
He went to Syracuse first, and he transferred
So
to
you-
Illinois, and then became. I don't know if he was drafted. I think he was an undrafted.
So you guys were at Syracuse also at the same time.
No, I was only at Syracuse for a year. So my quarterback in 2022 was Garrett Schrader, who just left last year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I just missed out on Tommy Cullins.
Tommy Cullins, that's what it was. That's a cold cut.
You know,
Tommy cold cut.
I'm not gonna hold
Tommy
you.
Gabagool.
You said that, and I was like,
Tommy deli slices.
I didn't even like I knew where you were going, but I was like, it's not cold cuts, but I don't know what it is to correct you.
But a little gabagool though?
Yeah, a little.
You know?
Tommy Capicola.
Tommy cold cuts is
Come on,
hilarious.
bro.
Tommy Borza.
Borsa. Stupid. Oh man.
Tommy
that's funny.
$4.99 a pound.
Now I gotta ask you
Oven
something.
roasted turkey breasts.
Oh, that's hilarious, bro.
God.
But so I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
At 4, with J.J. McCarthy at your speculation, would you say that he's overvalued at the 4th pick,
Yes.
undervalued, or you think the Giants are going to make the wrong move?
But it's their guy. Like, every team has their guy. They know that the top 3 are going to be gone more than likely.
Yeah.
So you have to get your guy. And if he is their guy, then they're gonna say it's a home run. I'm gonna say it's a double. Like, I'm gonna say like it's.
Now, why does
Oh
my
God,
question
that
is
was a ball.
Yeah, that was
Did
crazy.
you not just
I heard.
Come on, bro.
I heard.
That wasn't that. They think it's gonna be a home run, but it's really a double.
So what about the kid from Washington?
It's a whole
Michael
sport.
Michael Penix Jr.
It was Michael. Okay, yeah. You're right. Yeah. No, because I was thinking. No, that's not the guy I'm thinking of. I'm sorry. It was Bo Nix.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, Bo Nix is one that I think can really like sneak into the first round because there's teams when we get into like the order.
Right.
After the Jets, it's Minnesota, Denver, and the Raiders, and all 3 teams need a quarterback. So maybe someone reaches for a Bo Nix. Maybe someone gets like.
The reason I ask is because it's like I get a lot of mixed reviews on J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah.
100%.
Absolutely.
So it's like
Some people think he's not even worth the hype.
right. So it's like, but I think I hear more so on the negative. Like he's more likely to be a bust than he is to be good. So if that's the case, why are teams so willing still? Like, why is that still your guy?
They're crumbling,
because he has one of these. It's because he has a ring. He's getting like that Heisman, that national championship type of treatment. Like if you notice, remember the year of
Makes
like
sense.
the class of Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was a projected number 1 for a long time until
he
Baker
made it on
Mayfield won the Heisman, and Baker Mayfield was chosen that day. If you look at the video, like his whole social team at the time, like they put out a video of his draft day. He's just sitting here like this. Cleveland's got the pick. Phone rings and he's like, his family starts freaking out. They didn't think Cleveland was going to be calling him number 1. He might have like he thought maybe like the Jets at 3. He thought maybe who was another team that was in
New York?
The Bills. That's when they took Josh Allen. So they're thinking maybe him, but JJ McCarthy's getting that treatment because he's got a ring. He won the big one. He won the playoff. He beat a very talented. And I say it wasn't obviously by himself.
He won the Heisman that year too, right?
No Heisman. Got a nominee. Got
nominated
for it.
But they beat a very talented Alabama team, and then convincingly beat a team in Washington with all these weapons that we're gonna talk about. 2 names, 2 of their offensive weapons, who put the Huskies on the map per se. The Huskies are a team that they've been great, they've been successful, but now they're kind of like in the limelight of college football. Now their coach,
before that.
It's just because the Pac-12 just gets overshadowed by all the Southern teams, by all the teams in the Midwest, like your Ohio States, your Michigans. I'll throw in Notre Dame because Notre Dame is a brand name. They're not. They haven't been to a college football playoff in a few years, but
the fandom is crazy.
The fandom is awesome. Like
Fighting
I
Irish.
love the Notre Dame. I love Notre Dame Fighting Irish. None of us went to Notre Dame. We're just blue-blooded New Jersey Catholics that just love Notre Dame football. But
that's why I root for Miami. It's just a bunch of Cubans down there.
Right, and they're.
You know what I mean? I'm not. I have no relationship.
They're a team that could be changing their environment too. Like back in the day, like the 2000 teams with like Ed Reed.
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They were one of the best college football
crazy.
teams of all time.
Yeah. Ricky Williams back in the day.
Yeah, but now like just to put an end on a point. JJ McCarthy's getting all this vibe just because like he's proven on a level that he can win
on a national
level in front of millions and millions of viewers. Right. So yeah,
that holds weight.
Yeah, and he's in a New York market right now. Like he could be in a New York market that he's gonna have to face all the speculation. Yeah. The minute he throws an interception, he's gonna hear it. He's going to hear it, and he better be ready for it.
Yeah.
Now, there's a bunch of question marks going on around what's necessarily going on in New York in the quarterback room, per se, because before this injury of Daniel Jones, he took them to the second round of the playoffs the year before that, and he was their guy. So the fact that they go from such a drastic jump from our guy we just paid out for the year, might be out the door the next year. Does that really... And, like, I remember in that whole vacancy in between, like, oh, he's going to come back, and then nobody really knew how drastic his injury was, and then from one day it was like, oh, he'll be back in a few weeks to, oh, by the way, his ACL is torn, he's out for the year. Yeah. So does that kind of tell you that New York really isn't so good about, let's say, quote-unquote, airing out their business? And maybe that's why you think they might make a little sneaky draft day move where you don't really want people to be prepared for what New York has in the quarterback room?
Yeah, I think you're pretty much spot on. I also think there's a lot of pressure with like the GM Joe Shine and Brian Dable. Like they could be on the like I don't want to say they're on the hot seat, but like their jobs are going to be in jeopardy if they put out another like losing record.
Yeah.
Like the days of Eli Manning are done, and like Eli, say what you want about Eli. Eli was a winner.
He was a winner, two-time champ,
two-time MVP in the Super Bowl.
Never hurt.
Yeah, it's big shoes to fill for Daniel Jones, for Danny Dimes, but they want to take another pick because, again, as we mentioned before, and we were talking before, picking a quarterback is a gamble. It's rolling the dice, and if you hit, it's the best feeling in the world.
Right.
Knowing that you have a franchise quarterback, and I think they're going to see that, and I think they see that in one of these guys, and I just think it's going to be JJ.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Now, we go to 5?
Let's do it. Let's go to 5.
All right, this is where our first receiver is taken off the board.
Oh.
So I was sold on Arizona taking a receiver at 4, but with the trade I have, so now they go to 6.
Right.
I think with losing Mike Williams, Keenan Allen too, correct?
Yep, correct. He's on the Bears now.
Mm-hmm.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Let's talk it.
A Los Angeles Charger.
Good move. I think that'd be a great move.
They need him.
And he would look good in that uniform.
And you know what? We didn't even talk about it. I think now would be a good time to talk about it since he's bringing up the Chargers. Mm-hmm. Did you hear about J.K. Dobbins also signing to the Chargers?
That's a big move for them.
Oh.
So Gus Edwards signed there.
I did see it. Matter of fact,
and now they're both on the Ravens, both going on the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
Harbaugh's a run-heavy coach.
Yes.
To see two running backs that kind of had already built that side-by-side chemistry and take that into there, mix a number one receiver in the draft in the mix with Justin Herbert?
Don't be surprised if they take Blake Corum in the draft, too.
Come
running
on,
back from Michigan.
bro.
You have a three-headed monster of Corum, Edwards,
now
and J.K. As long as J.K. comes back from his injury.
Right. Which has literally been the story of J.K. Dobbins' career in general, right?
It's unfortunate.
For the way that it's going and the way that, since we're talking about the Chargers right now, we've had some speculation in the past about the Chargers. Do you see them going far this year at all?
It's tough. Like, when you're playing the same division as
Given
Pat
they have a
Mahomes,
decent draft, let's say.
I do like Jim Harbaugh, and I have to put his days away from Michigan and kind of relate to his days when he was with the 49ers.
Right.
It's because it's, college and pro is just a completely different game.
100%.
Can they compete for a wild card? I don't know about this year, but like given a window and given like another free agency period, maybe after next year, maybe they can contend for a wild card.
Right.
But as of right now, I don't know. But like to me, the AFC West is like Pat Mahomes and a huge drop off.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be a wild card team that comes out of the West. It's going to be tough. Now, if there's going to be a team out of the West that really invests in everything around them and in their facilities and in their new head coach, maybe it's Vegas. I think Vegas is the more appealing draw.
I like that.
But don't sleep on LA is, they play at SoFi. They have a new head coach in Jim Harbaugh, a national champion. So they might regain that reputation from the days of LT, Antonio Gates again, Sean Merriman, Phillip Rivers. So it's going to take time. I don't think it's going to happen immediately, but they'll be back.
I like it. Give Marvin Harrison a chance to develop as a receiver.
And in a big market, too, for Marvin Harrison. Yeah. I like that move a lot.
I like it.
Especially if this trade does happen.
jerseys.
Yeah.
Oh, the Powder Blues will sell out.
He won't sell any sweaters.
No, because he's not a hockey player. Good call.
But he'll sell some jerseys.
Well, come on now. NFL jerseys, hockey sweaters.
Bro. So
this goes number 6.
That would mean that since the 6 was the Giants, so that means that now Arizona. 6 would be at Arizona for your
They miss out on one receiver. They're gonna take the second best receiver.
Odunze?
No, Malik Neighbors.
Oh.
I think Odunze.
Yo, if no one was watching this, they would think that Jeremy was shooting fireworks in the air.
Ooh, wow. No, I favor Neighbors more heavily in the draft. Now, again, there could be a team that loves Odunze. They're going to need a slot receiver to come in and play immediately. Because I think all 3 of these receivers are going to be starters.
Yeah.
Whether they're wide receiver 2s, Marvin could be a wide receiver 1 for losing Keenan Allen and for now you have Quentin Johnson, but is Quentin Johnson really a 1? I think it's going to be Marvin. And for Kyler Murray here, Kyler Murray needs another weapon.
Right.
You're losing Hollywood Brown. You're going to fill him in with Malik Neighbors or Odunze. I won't be surprised if one of these 3 receivers ends up at Arizona.
But they got to go receiver.
Yeah, if they lose out on Marvin, I think they're going to go with a taller guy in Malik Neighbors.
Yeah.
Because Odunze, I believe, is somewhere around 6 foot. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think Neighbors might be a little bit taller, have a higher reach. So I think they're going to go for that, the deep threat.
Right.
So I think they're going to go Neighbors here.
Odunze is 6'3", or Neighbors is 6 feet flat.
Oh, I got them confused.
So Odunze's a taller receiver.
Odunze's a taller.
Yeah, Odunze's a taller one.
Huh.
Oh, does that change it up?
But they were used to a shorter receiver in Hollywood Brown.
Right.
Speedy guy.
So maybe they fill that need with Malik Neighbors.
They fill in that
for
same
some reason,
niche.
I just got them mixed up.
Listen, man, at that rate, in college especially, they're all the same
Yeah,
height,
they're
bro.
all the same height.
They're all right there, man. You got Neighbors at 6 foot 200 flat, and then you got Odunze at 6'3", 212.
Okay. Both are big boys.
Yeah, they're both big boys, apparently. So
yeah, I'll go Neighbors with Arizona, and then to just flow right into number 7 here. So this is an interesting one. Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee's going through it right now.
Tennessee's going through it. They're gonna have guess Will Levis will be their guy at the helm. They're going to need pass protection, so I think this is where the first O-lineman gets taken. I'm a little biased here. I think there's a clear number one offensive lineman. I think it's going to be Joe Alt out of Notre Dame.
Yep.
And I think there's going to be a lot of flexibility with Joe Alt because a lot of teams are going to look at Joe Alt and say, there's our starting left tackle. But to me, that was his role at Notre Dame, playing under Marcus Freeman. But I think he's just a flexible, like a versatile lineman.
He can play anywhere on the line.
I think they might put him. Some team might put him at right tackle, and I think they can play both sides. Both sides on the line.
Okay.
But I do think he will end up a Tennessee Titan.
Well, for those that don't know, that's not an easy transition,
right?
At all.
And they tried that with Mekhi Becton. Tried that,
right?
Yeah.
And
Mekhi Becton's a project, in processing himself,
To this day.
Yeah.
To this day, or whatever Hardy said. I don't know, man. The truth is that I think that would be a great move, especially since a lot of people blame Tennessee's line situation on the lack there of success when it came to Derrick Henry being explosive. They had playoff aspirations maybe like a handful of years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, when it was that whole run with like A.J. Brown and Corey Davis and all that. That was a long time ago. I believe that Deshaun Watson was still on Houston at the time.
Yeah.
That was when they were fighting for that playoff spot. But needless to say, I feel like since they just lost one of the best running backs and now they have Tony Pollard, they're going to need a little bit of extra help on the O-line.
Yeah.
We know how we feel about Tony Pollard on this show.
Especially if they're still relying on Will Levis. Look, they got a handful of receivers this offseason, so they don't really need any receivers. They got Gabe Davis.
Mm-hmm.
They got Calvin Ridley.
Yep.
They still have D-Hop, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, from what I know, I haven't seen him go anywhere.
There you go. That's a big three. Now you got Tony Pollard. You got to fix that line. Give Will Levis a little extra room his sophomore year to really turn that. Sophomore or his third year?
Sophomore year. He was a rookie last year.
There you go. To just explode, man.
Yeah, so you'll have Joe Alt lining up next to like Pete Skoronski on the line, who they drafted a few years ago. So just bulk up protection for a young quarterback.
Yeah, you got to. And you know
what? You can't have too many offensive linemen.
Now,
never.
With this whole, no, you can't.
You cannot.
Especially with this whole hip drop tackle ban.
Mm-hmm.
I think that extra line can do nothing but only benefit what the rules are kind of laying out for the long-term health for quarterbacks, especially rookies going into what's going on now.
Even some older guys.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers.
Joe Flacco.
That's another name that always makes it on this show.
He's a freak of nature, that guy. He's something else, man. We're talking about Indianapolis before. Now, come on, man. So that was number
6.
7.
7. Sorry.
7.
We can't count. Sorry.
That's okay. So we got 8. So this is Atlanta. So
Atlanta.
To me, Atlanta's a team that's just, they're spending money on a lot of free agents.
Right for the picking.
I think they're going to go with the first. Now, this is a point in the draft where teams are like, okay, do we go off of, obviously you go off of need, but like if there's someone there in your position of need that is still the best player at their position, why not take them?
Right.
So I'm going to say that they're going to go with Dallas Turner, the edge rusher out of Alabama. So he's going to be the first edge taken off. And I think it's just, they're a team that just needs that pass rusher, guy that just like goes after the quarterback. The Jets found that their guy in Jermaine Johnson a few years ago. This kind of reminds me of like a need like that.
I could see that.
And then like losing Bryce Huff, filling in Hassan Reddick. The Falcons need just someone to go after the quarterback. And again, like the NFC South, if I'm not mistaken, like that's just a division that is up in the air. Like
100%.
Like I think
Tampa Bay, Carolina.
Tampa Bay isn't like I think that came down to like the final 2-3 weeks in the season, that division.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
it came down to that Saints game.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And I think Atlanta is somewhat talented enough. Like they're bringing in an experienced quarterback in
They've got talent over there.
They have Bijan and Kyle Pitts, and if Drake London can turn it around a little bit, they could be a team. They could be very dangerous. So,
100%.
I
weak
like
division. So.
Yeah, so I like a pass rusher here out of Alabama, Dallas Turner.
I think that's a good move for them, especially since it looks like their offseason was filled with so many offensive decisions. Just take it to the other side of the ball. Because last year they would have been a lot more successful had they known what was going on in the quarterback room. Now that that's solidified, quote unquote, solidified with Kirk Cousins,
right?
Figure out what's going on with the rest of the team. I think that makes sense to me. But I like the comparison to Jermaine Johnson because there are edge rushers that are a little heavier and rely on their pure strength to get through the line, where Jermaine Johnson doesn't really do that. He's more of a shifty edge rusher, and especially I think that's how he played, at least in Alabama. So I could see him staying limber at where he is right now. He's 247, but he's 6'3", so it kind of gives him that faster edge. So I don't know. We'll see. I like that move a lot, though. I gotta tell you, you're jumping over a lot of people that I've seen here that I wasn't expecting you to.
Oh, we're gonna have a familiar name coming up here.
Oh man.
So this is Chicago's second pick.
Let's
in
hear
the
it.
first round.
Yep.
So they got their quarterback. How about a weapon? Here's Odunze. Odunze at 9 to Chicago.
You see how he's clean with it, with the point and everything, bro?
Clean.
So Roman Odunze,
Jesus.
I saw him in the national championship, and I was like, man, like this. He's a guy that could be taken, early in this draft.
Yeah.
He's something that Arizona might be considering at 4.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a toss-up between. To me, it's a three-way tie between Marvin, Neighbors, or Odunze. I think Marvin edges, the two of them out a little bit,
Right.
as just like the more of like the freak athlete that he is. But Odunze to me is a top 10 talent. I think Chicago gets a steal here at number 9.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Wow.
I don't disagree with you whatsoever.
Line him up next to Keenan Allen in the slot.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
And you still got DJ Moore over there?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Chicago's gonna be.
Chicago's gonna be a problem next year.
Somewhat good. I mean, like that division
It's hard.
The division is hard.
Outside of Minnesota, I would say it's hard.
I think Minnesota will find a new arm in this draft. Hint. But no, I mean, like with Detroit kind of taking that top spot, I think Detroit's definitely like the best overall team. But like
More than Green Bay.
Yeah, I would say so. I would favor Detroit over Green Bay in a head-to-head, but I think it's up for the taking. It's like another three-way race is this NFC North division. Chicago is a team that just has a lot of strain of bad luck.
Yeah.
Just like, can they win? Can they be? You want to see a team in a big market succeed like that, like in Chicago, and they're a team that's been really favored on like their fan base and their history. So you want to see like a revival of like the 85 days, like the Mike Ditka era. So maybe this is it. Maybe with
the Bears.
I was gonna
with
say,
with Caleb Williams and Roman Dunze. Maybe this is the start.
Yeah.
Hey.
Honestly, as soon as all these offseason moves happen for Chicago, especially getting Keenan Allen for like a bag of chips, I think that now is the time.
That surprised me, that return.
Yeah. But I think that right now,
one of the best fantasy players in recent years.
In history. The truth is, I don't know. Keenan Allen, we had this conversation. Is he overrated? Is he underrated? It seemed like it was like more contract issues that kind of sent him out of the Chargers more so than anything.
Yeah.
But, I think that as far as skill players right now, they're just unbelievably stacked. And they got Swift. People don't talk about that. Yeah. They got Swift. Cole Kmet is still a top 5.
Let's get to the pick that I'm dying to hear about. Please.
Look, I don't usually tell you.
Killing me inside.
I don't usually tell you, but when
talking
you're right,
about the Bears, come on.
You're right. When you're right, you're right. Let's hear number 10.
Let's hear it.
Big 10.
Let's hear it.
Big 10.
So, we're not talking college.
No, we're not talking conferences. We're talking the 10th overall pick in the draft.
Let's hear it.
We're talking one Jets drive.
Let's go.
New Jersey. The draft room. Now, the Jets are in a very interesting spot.
You already know.
Yeah.
Do they take the best player at a position? Do they take their guy? Do they take the fourth best receiver? Do they take a corner? Do they take an edge? Do they take a tight end? Do they take... I'm going to stop at tight end.
Stop it.
Brock Bowers.
Look, I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it. I mean, that
we're
one,
on the same page.
Even though we're all excited about, of course, we just got rid of Uzama as well, so he fills in that gap. Kyler Conklin's still there.
Yeah.
It looks like everything that we kind of had.
2 tight ends set.
2 tight ends
I like
set.
that.
As we were doing before.
And you have Jeremy Ruckert, too, who still has room to grow as like a blocking tight end. Now, has he taken off as we wanted him to? No, but like he's still on his rookie contract. He's still under contract for like I think 2 or 3 more seasons with the Jets. So you throw in Uzoma out, Brock Bowers in. Brock Bowers is like they called him like a Swiss Army knife. They were calling it like he just has a lot of tools. He can block. He can, to me when I look back at like the Jets and like their goal, I look back at like their red zone offense. And I think Breece Hall is going to be someone that's going to be targeted heavily. Like they're going to want to go for that run. why not throw like a big body in the middle in the end zone, like Brock Bowers, who can just trying to shimmy his way past a secondary, a linebacker.
You see this? That was my intuition is telling me Brock Bowers at 10, and then we go out and we sign Bakhtiari.
I would love that.
To bring in Aaron Rodgers' guy and give us for chips essentially, and to shore up a little bit more on that line, because we still need to like we said earlier now.
Tyron Smith hasn't played a full season in like 3-4 years.
Exactly.
So he's missing at least one.
But you bring Bakhtiari in that back. You know what I'm saying?
A more fresh set of legs.
Yeah. Bakhtiari's had some injury issues too now.
Right.
But however,
he's more active.
But we don't want him. You're
not
here to play 17 games.
Yeah.
We don't need you to play 17.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fill in when the hole is needed.
Right.
If someone goes down, you got to be the next man up.
Right.
And I think that's what they need.
And I think he'll fit that and welcome that, honestly.
Yeah, familiarity with his quarterback too. It never hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just like
the chemistry there.
Does Joe Douglas want to do that? Like that's all on him. Like that's all what he wants to do.
I just think it's a smart thing too.
I think it is a smart thing. I'm sure Aaron Rodgers has made his part, given his say that like, hey, my guy's still out there. Let's go get him.
I love it.
But emphasis in blocking and catching, Brock Bowers is a perfect fit in New York. You need an I can't remember the last time the Jets took a tight end in the first round. Like it's been a while.
A very long time. I mean, for the longest time, it was always the quarterback problem.
Wayne Corbett.
Yeah.
Like
had to have been. And that was what, 20 years ago?
Yeah. Like we were like preschool when Wayne Corbett was playing.
For real. I don't know, man. It's hard. But aside from the Jets hype, let's hop into number 11 really quick.
Okay, so this is Minnesota, a team that needs a quarterback. And behind them are Denver and the Raiders, who both need a quarterback. And I think at number 11, Michael Penix Jr.
There you go.
Gets taken by
bring his name back
Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, it's doing that thing again, right?
Yeah.
Damn.
Wait.
You don't hear it?
You don't hear? I hear
now
it crazy.
It's got to be like a wire.
I don't know what that is.
Sounds like some type of interference.
Technical difficulties. All right, so for the third time, back to regular schedule programming. We're talking about the bumps on the road. There's number 2.
Jeez Louise.
So, hey, we're here, man. But look, we just went through number 11. I think that everything that you're saying makes sense.
Michael Penix. He's got to find a home. And to a team that needs a quarterback.
Yeah, because they can't rely on Sam Darnold.
No.
No.
We've been on that ship before. But no, I think they're going to take a risk. They're going to gamble, and I think Michael Penix will be their guy just because of the fact that I think their position at 11, you know, the two teams below them that need quarterbacks.
Right.
I think the teams below them in Denver and Vegas, I think they're going to wait a little bit now. Now they're going to build up on like the best players available.
Yeah.
I don't think they necessarily be quarterbacks, but the problem is the only team that has a second rounder out of those 3 is Vegas. So
interesting.
Minnesota doesn't have a second rounder, I'm sorry, they don't have a second rounder in Minnesota because they have a second pick in the first round. That's That's number 23. So I don't think they're gonna wait until 23 to take a quarterback. They're gonna take it at 11.
Right.
So it'll be a little early, but like I think they're gonna need. I don't think they're gonna want to play the waiting game.
Yeah.
Because someone can just come up, someone can come up and try to trade or whatever. So I think they'll take the quarterback at 11, which will be Michael Penix Jr.
And that doesn't surprise me. I think that they know, like you said, they need a quarterback, and they would be, for a lack of a better term, dumb to not take a quarterback at that pick, because a lot of teams need a quarterback right now in general.
Yeah.
And with such a quarterback-heavy loaded draft, you would think, first come, first serve.
Right.
So the truth is, I feel like I haven't had this argument brought up, or at least put into light, but I think if both Chicago and Minnesota can figure out a rookie quarterback that's somewhat decent, you could almost like put them at even amount of talent.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of heads or tails as far as which one's better. If they can both land a decent quarterback, the receivers in Chicago is Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and potentially the receiver that you said before.
Rome Odunze.
Yeah, Odunze.
Yeah.
And then for Minnesota, it would be Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison. They got, I mean, he's not a receiver, but if you're talking about tight ends, they got Hawkinson. And they still have this Osborne guy that's kind of whatever.
No, I think KJ left.
Oh, did he leave?
KJ
to the Patriots?
Yes.
I did see that.
Yep.
I did see that. Yeah. Whatever, bro.
But I do think, though, with the trade at 4, so I had the Giants making that trade. Don't be surprised if Minnesota uses their draft capital to take JJ at 4.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were very highly rumored to be a team drafting up into the top 5 because they have 11 and 23.
So they have those spots low anyway.
Yeah, so, like, I don't know. Now, I don't know if they're going to do it, but, like, Arizona really needs a number 1 receiver. But they could offer the picks 11 and 23 for number 4.
Instead of New York.
But I just have New York doing that.
I like that.
Yeah, so don't be surprised if Minnesota's the team that jumps up from 11 to 4.
I can't wait for the world to be surprised, and since you told me right now, I'll be sitting there with a complete straight face.
Jeremy told me that a week ago.
Yeah, old news. Thanks a lot. So now you got, speaking of Denver, because you brought up Denver.
Yeah.
You got number 12, the Denver Broncos.
So I don't have them taking a quarterback because I think it's going to be too early for like your Bo Nixes or your Joe Miltons or your Sam Hartmans. I think those are day 2 guys, maybe day 3.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to have them taking corner. I'm going to have them going Terrion Arnold, corner out of Alabama.
Love it.
Now, you do have Quinyon Mitchell, who you can also take at corner, but I think they're going to go with the guy playing in the more established conference.
Yeah.
They're going to go SEC against MAC. If Quinyon Mitchell, he's up there for a reason, but I think they're going to go Terrion Arnold.
He's from Toledo, though.
That's the MAC, man. Don't sleep on the MAC.
I mean, look, they're sleeping.
Maction.
I like that.
But no, I think it'll be Terrion Arnold because now here's like the list of guys where it's like I don't have a whole lot of insight on these guys. It's just like okay, it's just position need. So like the next pick would be Vegas. I think they're going to take the second offensive lineman off the board.
Okay.
Now it's a matter of which lineman. So my pick is going to be Olu Fashanu out of Penn State.
Okay.
So I have him going there at 13. The Saints at 14, I'm going to have them taking J.C. Latham, another offensive lineman from Alabama.
I like that.
So this is where I see 2 linemen being taken off the board.
Right.
Because I think, the way I'm looking at it is Vegas is going to take a lineman. New Orleans is going to be like, okay, well, we can't lose out on a top 3 lineman. Let's go get number 3 right now. And I think their guy's going to be J.C. Latham, who's had a lot of visits with all these teams in the top 15. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of drafts have him falling out of the top 16, out of the top half of the draft. Right. They have him possibly going to, I think Cincinnati's up there with like number 19, 20 in that range.
Yeah. Bengals is 18.
Yeah, so they have like him falling a little bit out of the top half of the draft, but yeah. I think they'll go with Latham here. And then we're going to go back to your guy at Toledo, Quinyon Mitchell, number 15 to the Indianapolis Colts. So he's already used to that area, playing in Ohio. He's playing in the Midwest, so he's going to call the Midwest home again. Right. The Loud House, Lucas Oil Stadium, they're going to get a top-line corner there. And then rounding out the top half of the draft, Seattle Seahawks. This is a great name in this draft, Laiatu Latu. Latu, an edge rusher out of UCLA.
I gotta applaud you because we are infamous for mispronouncing every last name. I could be botching
this name right now.
No. We've gone through a couple last names, let me tell you. I have my own list in front of me. I've been making sure to see if you've been pronouncing them right. In my head, I'm like, how do you say that? And then you just said it, and I was like, oh, that's how. Like, it made me comfortable enough to be like, dude, this guy is...
There's some hockey names that are just so hard. Like, there was a guy back in the day, Alexei Ponikarovsky. Like, just...
Ponikarovsky?
Yeah, like, there's just names that... They look like they're, like, 20 letters long.
How big is your CBS?
Yeah, how big is your CBS? I'm not going to lie to you. Don't tell me where that came from. The How Big Is Your CBS has been on the show for weeks now. And it's developed into this thing that just, like, throws us to the floor every time.
Yeah.
So now... we must ask you, how big is your CVS? Is it? Are you saying CV or B?
Like the
Because
channel
I'm saying
or
V.
the store?
I'm saying pharmacy.
I'm saying the sports network, the television network. CBS.
How are we not on the same page about an inside joke?
How big is your CBS?
How big is right? But I'm hearing V, right?
It's
I'm here thinking.
But that's
like
what makes the
Walgreens.
joke funny. It's always been that because from day one you thought it was pharmacy, and I always reference CBS because
like CBS Sports.
Exactly. That's why it's so funny.
How big is your CBS? Good guy.
Jesus.
So say this last name. Say this full name for me one more time. The edge rusher.
Leatu Latu.
Leatu Latu.
I just said it. Leatu Latu.
I think that's how it's pronounced.
How do you say the last name of the starting quarterback for the Dolphins?
Tagovailoa.
There you go.
Yeah, it's Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
You're not getting me.
I'm just
bro.
trying to make sure
This
we're all
is-
on the same page
Tank
here.
for Tua.
I didn't want to correct you when you said we, because there was maybe one or two names I've messed up, but you have a list, my guy.
I remember we went down the list of the G League All-Stars. Don't forget.
Oh my god.
Don't forget about that. They all had hard-ass last names.
Yeah,
I
because-
was there.
Clearly, they're all from like Cameroon or some shit like that.
Oh, see, now you're just profiling people.
The names were ridiculous.
This is a family show.
All right.
On that note, look, you did a great job. I'm really
Thank you.
glad. I'm glad that you came by. Did we clap that up for Jeremy really
Please,
quick?
man.
Put that research and effort into making that list for us, and I
Very
appreciate
much
it.
so.
man,
I love
for
it,
sure,
man.
for sure. So on that note, for the first time on camera, we're gonna transition into this part of the show where we talk about everything other than football. Call it keeping score. So here we are. Usually we transition with like a little theme song, but with the video going on, we're still getting the kinks out of that
That's
one.
fine. That's fine.
So we're in this part of the show. This everything but football. We're talking basketball, a little bit of baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we didn't mention it in weeks past, but I wanted to say this really quick. We were having a conversation earlier about hockey and about how like there's like some let's go moments where you kind of just like whatever. One of the most intense let's go moments I've seen in a while. Like, okay, we're doing this right now. Max Holloway.
Oh my God.
UFC 300?
Yeah.
We didn't talk about this.
Let's talk about it.
Yo, real quick, because this is sports past already, right? Everyone's like, all right, we're over it.
This is a
UFC
week.
right.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about it. I got to talk about it. That is one of the wildest, like, excerpts from a fight I think I've ever seen. That last, he pointed at the ground.
Now,
Hit him with a Sharkeisha. Came at him like
there were people saying
hit him with hit him with like this. Wow!
there were people that were saying that because he pointed at the ground, that was like a hint for the other fighter to like take
fold
a fall.
out?
Yeah, to take a fall.
Oh, I hope not. Justin
Nah,
Gaethje's
no
very
way.
respected.
I don't believe it. I'm
Yeah.
just telling you what some
They were
rumblings
just
out there
emptying,
that I
they were
heard.
just emptying the tank at
Yeah,
that point. in
yeah.
time,
I'm
and
sure.
there
I'm
was
sure it
not
was
a
just.
lot
I'm
left.
sure it was just a shot in the dark. But
Yeah,
you
there's
know.
no way he was folding like a lawn chair on purpose.
Sharkeisha.
Yeah.
He you like that one?
That was good.
You're no Sharkeisha, don't kick him.
yeah.
One of those, bro.
Oh, geez,
Telling you,
bro.
that's how he hit him because he was swinging this way and Holloway was already down, up and out.
That reminds me. Isn't the? Am I mistaken? Is the Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight tonight?
That is tonight.
That is
Yep.
tonight.
That is
Well,
tonight.
tonight, as in not the day that it comes out,
But
the
April
day that we're
20th.
recording it, 4/20th. 4/20th.
For 20th.
The 20th of
4th.
April,
Yes.
2024.
Yes.
Devin Haney just got 1.5 million from
a
Ryan
weigh-in.
Garcia, Ryan Garcia, because of the weigh-in.
You see?
He was I don't pronounce things correctly.
You see?
The energy is there, but it's not there with the pronunciation of my words. It's
Okay.
just the feeling in my soul.
Okay.
So, as you know, Ryan Garcia, I think he was 3 pounds over, and it was
Yes.
$500K for every pound he was over.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous, man.
Ridiculous,
Boxers make a lot of money, but that should be a good fight. Do we have any? Do we have a horse in this race?
Devin Haney.
Devin
by,
Haney.
By
Yeah.
knockout.
Yeah.
Haney knockout. What
I don't
round?
know. Oh, knockout?
What round?
Call it.
Is it 12-round fight?
Call it.
Let's go 11.
With that being said, too, I'll give my prediction in a second.
Right.
Because Ryan Garcia was overweight. If Devin Haney is to lose, the belt's gonna be vacated. He actually can't win the belt now.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's how
Oh
that
my
works.
God.
So that's how it works. So because he's So we'll see what happens.
Half the battle of being a fighter in any sport is just like
making weight.
If you're like an Olympic wrestler, if you're a boxer, MMA, you got to make weight. That's your job. Your job is to make weight.
So now it gets vacated, and then it's up for grabs, really. So
big Devin Haney guy.
Yeah, but I've got Haney. I don't have him in a knockout. Devin Haney doesn't have a whole lot of power. But I'm gonna take him with decision.
So let me ask you this. I'm just curious off of what Jeremy
unanimous said. Though.
Yeah.
I don't see it's not gonna be split or anything like that. It's gonna be unanimous. Right. But he's not knocking him out.
You never know though. The judges in boxing to me like they just
true.
Get,
yeah. Sometimes they're
I'm a skeptic now.
Yeah, they're a little bit. They can be a little bit shady.
Yeah.
I don't want to use that word.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't want to use that word, but boxing. There's a lot of money in boxing, dude. There's a lot of like politics and shit too.
Like you thought you were gonna get a home run.
Right.
But it was really a
But
double.
regardless, I'm still gonna go.
Where'd you get that one from?
I'm saving that one forever.
I'm still gonna go with Devin Haney though to take it unanimous. So definitely be tuning into that tonight for sure.
I want you to look this up for me because we forgot to mention something important.
Beautiful day in sports today.
It's an amazing day in sports today. For those that are listening, it's 4:20. We're having a great time out here. NBA playoffs started today.
Which we're about to talk about in 2 seconds.
In 2 seconds. But before we get into that, I'm just curious because he brought it up. We were talking about odds a little bit off camera. Mm-hmm. And I could say off camera now because we're really on and off the camera real quick.
Right.
But seriously, I want you to look up what the odds are for Devin Haney by knockout.
Okay.
Because we missed something very important that I wanted us to go over. We kind of talked about it.
I can just look them. FanDuel.
There you go. Shout out FanDuel.
Plug.
But the draft class that we kind of just went through, it's quarterback heavy, but it's also very receiver heavy, right? And every time we get into the draft, there's always a little bit of nostalgia going behind what are some of the draft decisions of franchises past. So I wanted to get into who do you think was the best wide receiver chosen in the top 5 of all time, right? Now, I'm going to give you a list, and I want you to tell me, out of these, who do you think is the best one? You got Jamar Chase, chosen 5th in 2021. Amari Cooper, chosen 4th in 2015. You got A.J. Green in 2011 at 4th. Calvin Johnson taken 2nd in 2007. Larry Fitz in 2004 taken 3rd. Or Andre Johnson in 2003 taken 3rd.
Sheesh. I got my answer already.
I could say it one more time if you want me to.
I have my answer.
You want me to say it one more time?
One more time, but I think I have my answer.
You got Jamar Chase taken 5th. You got Amari Cooper taken 4th. A.J. Green taken 4th. Calvin Johnson taken 2nd. I can barely hear you in your mic, and you're hilarious. Like, he's not that good.
No, I'm talking like...
He's saying he doesn't have one, but I don't know what he's talking about.
I thought he was saying, like, that guy's not that good.
Yeah. No, they're all great.
No, they're all great.
All of them. They're
all stars.
Every single one of them.
I said A.J. Green taken 4th. Calvin Johnson taken 2nd. Larry Fitz taken 3rd. Andre Johnson taken 3rd. What do you think?
Am I going first?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
I'm biased towards Larry Fitz.
That's not a bad answer.
It's
not a bad answer.
My second choice was probably going to be Megatron, but I'm just looking at like longevity of career. I thought like Larry Johnson. Larry Fitzgerald was just like one of those like big threats. Now he only made I think 1 Super Bowl and they lost to the Steelers.
Yep.
But that where I was going was like, did any of them have rings? Like, did any of them have rings? Right. I don't think all I think all of them.
I don't think any of those people on the list had a ring.
So with that being said, I just wanted to look back at like longevity and what he meant to a franchise and like taking like per value of that pick.
Right.
In my opinion, I'm just biased. That was one of my first jerseys I ever owned as a kid. So Larry Fitzgerald out of Pittsburgh.
You owned a Larry Fitz?
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good jersey.
Number 11. I like number 11.
Okay. Favorite number?
One of. 27 is my lucky number.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah, that was like my hockey number.
Favorite number 17?
24.
Oh, okay. Tell me you're a Laker fan without telling me you're a Laker fan. But let's be serious. Who do you think is the best receiver on that list? Because we've had the top 5 receivers of all time conversation.
I'm going to give you the best, in my opinion, off this list, and then I'm going to give you my favorite. So my best is going to be Calvin Johnson.
Right.
Because Larry Fitzgerald, great argument. hell of a receiver. Obviously, one of the probably top 5. You know what I mean? Like if definitely top 10 if not top 5 for Larry Fitz. Yeah. But Calvin Johnson, man,
he was a problem.
Megatron. I don't call him Megatron for no reason.
Yeah, and then favorite, Andre.
Yeah.
Andre was awesome.
Andre was a dog.
Dog, bro.
He was an animal.
Dog.
Who did he fight?
Coming out of Miami, dog.
Who did he fight against the Titans? Who was
it? Was that cornerback. It was
what was his name?
Off the shoot, man.
All right, I'll look it up. See if you
that
can
was
figure it out.
insanity when they were just like the helmets.
Nah, because I'm not gonna remember his name, but
it's
he
like
was
Kenny something.
He was a good corner too.
Is it Kenny? No.
Cortland Finnegan.
There you go, I was gonna say I was thinking Cortland Sutton, but I'm like I know it's not Sutton, and it's
early.
like
yeah, Cortland Finnegan.
Yep.
On the Titans, right?
Yeah, on the
Titans. Got busy, got at it.
Yeah.
What was worse, that or the Devils Rangers game?
Recently? No, Devils Rangers game was crazy. You don't understand.
That's 5 fights at once.
You don't understand. Like the whatever sound buzzer, whatever you want to call it, went off.
Yeah.
Gloves off.
I can't wait to go to the next hockey game that I can and just gas the hell out of it just because I want to be an instigator.
You want to get a penalty?
I want to be an instigator from the outside. I want to stir the pot a little bit.
They probably can't hear you through that.
What did he say about your mom?
Whoa.
Just get it started.
Straight for the mom?
That's if you want someone to fight right away, bring up their mom. Hey.
Yeah, right away.
That's like rule number 1.
Yeah.
Right away.
What do you think?
Right away. Well, since we're talking about fights and all these fights, let's talk about the fight that's going on in the playoffs right now in the first round.
Oh my
in the
God,
NBA.
that boy is
that was
smooth.
seamless. That was seamless. That was awesome.
You know what I mean?
Poetry in motion.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around because I'm assuming that people watch the play-in games. There were some games that were interesting, some not as much.
Yeah.
The Heat and Bulls was kind of a bore. Kings and Pelicans, that was a little bit exciting right there at the end.
Yeah, it was.
So a couple good games, but we're down to the nitty-gritty. The seeding has been finalized, we'll say. So as of right now, the Cleveland's going against Orlando, 5-4. Looks like Cleveland is winning, not by too much, but however, let's start this off. So round 1, we've got Miami and Boston.
Come on.
I'm gonna go off, and then we're gonna let Jeremy, and then I'll ask you.
Sure.
So Miami, Boston. I'm gonna go with Boston. 6 games.
Boston in 6.
Boston in 6.
Okay.
I have the exact same prediction because I think even without Jimmy Butler, I think it's just going to be a dogfight of a series. We saw it last year.
Yeah.
You had that beef with Grant Williams.
Yeah. But I do think Boston is very talented, at least talented enough to get out of the first round.
They're the superior team in every position, honestly, except for maybe the center position because of Bam Adebayo. But even then, he shows up when he wants to, and so.
And without Jimmy buckets.
Yeah, you're relying on Caleb Martin.
Yeah, the whole hype behind the Heat
and Jaime
playoffs was playoff Jimmy, and if you're not
with Jimmy,
Johnny,
this could go 7.
Yeah, with Jimmy, it could go 7. See, this is my thing with Miami, right? So I do think Miami is extremely well coached,
right?
Obviously, but Miami has an inept of talent. All right, let's keep it real. They're relying on Duncan Robinson, Caleb Martin,
Tyler Hero.
Yeah, well, Tyler Hero was a bucket, but I'm just saying, like, most of their guys that they're relying on are not. They're not stars by any means. They're not all stars. They're not. You know what I mean? They're
role players.
Yeah, at best, right? A lot of their guys, but Miami, man, they know how to scheme you, and they know how to make it muddy. However, when you've got a team like Boston, and this is why, with or without Jimmy Butler, I still think it would have only went 6. Because you can only zone me and box and one me for so long until the other side figures it out. And usually the talent is going to overplay that.
Right.
So, and that's where, because Miami can't score with everybody.
Right.
That's for sure. They can't score with anybody, really. They don't have, that's not what they do.
Right. That's not how they win games.
Exactly. So, easily, I've got Boston going over just because, like I said, I watched that play-in game when it was Miami and the 76ers, and they zoned them. They zoned them too early. 76ers figured it out, and they ended up winning. And they had a chance to win that game because Joel Embiid wasn't playing very well. Right. But that just shows that if it wasn't for them scheming, because they couldn't score.
Right.
They were getting stops, but they couldn't score.
Right.
They're not going to be able to do that with Boston because you're only going to be able to stop them for so long. There's too many guys. Derek White, Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, like Kristaps Porzingis, Al Horford will bang you from threes if you're not guarding them.
For real.
So it's crazy. Peyton Pritchard coming off the bench, like Sam Hauser. These guys, they got a bunch of shooters, and 6, maybe 5, but I'm gonna give Miami 2. I'm gonna give them 2.
I think that both of you are a little more confident in Miami than I am, because I'm going to agree with you on that last note. I got
5?
Boston in 5.
Okay.
I honestly think that, it's no secret that all year long it's been Boston versus everybody else in the East. The East is pretty even as far as everybody else except for Boston, and there's a reason for that. It's not just because of coaching. It's not just because of this. They're put together right now, and they're playing seamlessly, And so to go against a team with your star, because there are like stars on the team, but he's the star and he's not there. I don't see it.
Now listen, there are some flaws that I see in Boston. All right, they don't put away people like they should. They tend to play down to competition at times. Yeah. But their talent ends up, winning.
Right.
But that happens. That's easy to do in the regular season. Playoffs is a totally different animal.
Right.
But even so, 6.
I like it.
So the next game, so we got 5 and 4, Orlando and Cleveland. I've been watching the game. The way that it's looking, it looks like I like Orlando.
Yeah.
And I've been saying this all season. I like them. I think they're a tough team. They play defense. They're young. And I think they're going to make it a series. Honestly, I could see this series going 7. I can see this going 7 because it's all about matchups, playoffs, right? Mm-hmm. And if Orlando's got some big bodies over there, so does Cleveland. But I give Cleveland the edge, but I see it going 7.
Yeah.
So give me Cleveland in 7.
So just to put it out there before we get into any more detail, just so people have the score live, it's the end of the third.
Right.
The Cavs are beating the Magic 73-58.
Oh, wow. So they haven't scored in a few because last time I looked, I ended just turning the game off.
Yeah.
It was 55-53.
Wow.
So that means that they scored 5 points. That means they scored 5 points, and that was like 9 minutes left into the third quarter.
Yep. So just so everybody knows, Bonchero's leading the Magic with 19, and then Mobley is leading. No, I'm sorry, Donovan Mitchell is leading the Cavs with 21 right now.
Yeah. Evan Mobley, that you say that, X factor.
Yeah.
For Cleveland, he needs to play well for the Cavaliers to have any type of a shot of like going far. That conference though, I don't see them getting really past the second round. But hey, so anyway, predictions.
I'll go Cavs in 7.
There you go.
I'm gonna say Cavs in 5 again.
Ooh.
You think they're that much better?
I thought that
much
look,
better than Orlando?
You have all the excitement about Orlando in the world, and rightfully so. Paolo, he deserves his flowers. He's a good player, very slept on under the radar, averaging like 30 points a game in the regular season. He's that guy. But the Cavs got to this point where they are, and Donovan Mitchell was hurt all year long. So I think that he's a determining factor.
I don't got a lot of faith in Donovan. Donovan Mitchell's been to 0 conference finals.
He was in Utah.
All right. So, it was the guy in Utah, right? And Utah had a team.
Wouldn't you say that he has a better chance now in Cleveland than he ever did in Utah?
That's tough to say. That is tough, man. Utah, when Donovan Mitchell was over in Utah, they had a team over there.
When they had Rubio?
They had a team, dude.
Oh, Rudy was killing it.
Yeah, Rudy. That was when he got Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah.
He might win it this year, too.
Man, listen, and I don't even want to talk about that. First of all, how do you win? How does somebody win Defensive Player of the Year when you can't even keep them in the game at the end of games? Kidding me?
I don't know.
Kidding me? Can't make free throw. Man, whatever. and he's a liability on perimeter.
Okay, so then it doesn't sound like so great of a chance in Utah anyway.
But
that's all I'm saying.
Analytics,
right?
Analytics.
So, on that note,
let's go to the next matchup over here.
This one's
exciting. This is exciting. Yes. Indianapolis and Milwaukee.
Good one. That's a good one.
These
the Pacers have been smacking Milwaukee all year long.
These guys have had some history. This is a rivalry that's brewing, and I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. I think this series is gonna be real fun. And you know what, man? Give me Indiana. Give me Indiana. Milwaukee does not look good to me. I'm sorry. And nothing.
No, in how many games?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nothing.
They're not playing anywhere.
And not a damn thing.
Indiana
no,
won.
give me Indiana. Give me Indiana. Giannis is gonna. Giannis might miss like the first 2 games. Shoot, man. Give me Indiana. Give me Indiana in 5, man.
All right.
Give me Indiana in 5, man. They've got their number.
I'm not mad at that.
They've got their number. Dame doesn't look like he's playing very well. No Giannis. What are you gonna do? Bobby Portis me all day? Get out of here, man. Indiana. Pacers in 5, man.
He's a walking hospital patient himself, Bobby Portis.
Yeah, man.
This is true, bro.
Bucks schmucks. Pacers in 5, man.
Let's hear it. What do you think?
I think if I'm gonna pick a dark horse out of the East, which is like from Boston down, it's like wide open.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the Pacers, and I think I'm gonna have them go. Because in NBA, it's different in hockey. NBA is 2-3-2, right?
Yeah.
So you have them clinching on home court.
Mm-hmm.
I think they get it done in Wisconsin. Give me Indiana in 6.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna say something super bold.
Oh man.
Super bold.
Here we go.
How bold?
How bold?
This is on record. Okay. This is a surprise for everyone. Whoa! So he's bringing out the broom. He brought out the broom. Okay. All right.
Indiana in 4.
Jeez. Okay. All right. Hey, dude, I respect it.
They've had their number all season long. The
You're not
Bucks
wrong.
have not found an answer for Indiana.
You're not wrong, dude.
Before or after Siakam, they have
not wrong,
not
dude.
found an answer for the Pacers.
You're not wrong.
Give me Indiana in 4, bro.
All right.
Love that. That was everything I wanted.
Now, for the matchup that I'm excited for, probably the most excited for in the Eastern
Talk to him.
Conference, Philly and New York.
Woo! And I'm not a New York fan. This is exciting.
This is exciting.
If you're in
New
New York,
the Garden is hot.
come on,
the Garden
bro.
is hot.
Rangers,
Against Philly?
Come on.
Against, like, the city
Come on.
down the way?
Come on.
Bro.
Come on.
There's no brotherly
Come on.
love over here, bro.
And I want to say something.
None!
We're not Knicks fans. Over here. However, we support.
I do, yeah.
You gotta follow New York.
And I just want to say that Dante DiVincenzo being seconds away from what was that most improved player?
Devo.
Terrible, because I watched probably the most Knicks games I've watched my entire life.
This season, right?
Like in most, like you're watching every Laker game, and then like the Knicks probably the second most.
No, this year.
Yeah.
I've watched, man. Honestly, it's no. I'm just. No, because it'd be a tie between a lot. Because I watch a lot of the West too.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
He's
however,
a freak, this guy,
yeah,
super big basketball guy.
It's ridiculous. However, the Knicks though, man, they've got the way that those guys play over there, dude. Injured, not injured, like they're over there. And Dante DiVincenzo,
Yep.
this is a guy that came into the league, and I did not have much expectations for him at all.
I don't think anybody did.
Right? He moved around a little bit. He has found himself over there. He's broke the record. I mentioned this last week.
Talk it.
Broke the 3 points made. So like,
was it 11? It was.
I'm
up
talking,
there. Yeah.
but I'm also talking about regular season too.
Oh, okay.
He has the regular season record as a Knick for 3-pointers made in a season.
Insane.
So there, Jalen Brunson playing the way he's playing.
Yep.
Olympic.
I was gonna
snub.
say
Olympic snub.
I was gonna say all-star, bona fide superstar. This guy,
Woo.
like,
snub.
and if Joel Embiid, first of all, if Joel Embiid remained healthy, Philly wouldn't be a 7 seed. So right, so
That's facts. They'd probably be like a 3 or 4.
and I'm not saying that Philly
This
isn't.
could have been Knicks Pacers. Yo.
Oof. That you want to talk about a rivalry, and I'm not talking about
Facts.
right, exactly, Reggie Miller,
Right.
and I'm not saying that Philly isn't a dangerous team because they're not a true 7.
No.
All right,
They were good enough without their all-star to still get the 7.
However,
Dramatic
one
pause.
seed, the 1 and 2 seed from both conferences are in the top 5 in offensive and defensive ratings.
Facts.
That means that Boston, the Knicks, what is it? OKC
No.
and the Nuggets. Right?
It's the 1-2 over there.
Yeah. They have the top rating defenses and offenses. That's not by coincidence.
Yeah.
Dibs has got those boys playing D. They're running up and down the court. They're hard to stop. New York in.
Let's go. Tell them. Tell them.
Damn. It's tough because it's so tough making these because you haven't seen a game yet. You know what I mean? But give me New York in 6, man. I like 6.
I like that one. I like the 6.
The gentleman's sweep is a little bit too because you never know. Joel Embiid might find his footing again.
Right. Yeah.
Might make it a little difficult. You know what I'm saying?
He was picking it up in the end of that play game 2.
Right.
He had like 12 points in the fourth quarter or whatever.
I do like being able to throw Isaiah Hartenstein and Mitchell Robinson, Jericho Sims for a little physicality. I do like throwing that against them. But again, Philly's Philly, Joel Embiid, MVP. Let's not forget. You know what I mean? But Knicks in 6.
Yeah, I mean,
has a nice ring to it. Knicks in 6.
Knicks in 6.
Ooh.
That's like something that like Walt Clyde Frazier would say. Like,
right.
It's the Knicks in 6. Like he would say something like that.
Right. Wearing a fly ass suit
Absolutely.
too.
One of the best color analysts in the game right now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Target shout out.
I'm gonna go with the Knicks just because.
Yep.
Apart from Boston, you know, my dad's a huge Knicks fan, so I get to watch all the Knicks games with him. And
there you go.
He's such a passionate Knicks fan. He loves his Knicks, and this is all being done without Julius Randle.
All of it.
Now Julius Randle.
Handle.
He's been fluctuating his whole career.
Right.
Like, is he hot? Is he not? Is he, whatever?
He was an all-star as a Knick.
Absolutely. In his first year as a Knick. So
he's all NBA as a Knick. Don't get it twisted. Julius Randle's been balling over there
now,
since he's been a Knick. He's been balling. He gets not a lot of credit, but sorry.
No. and I still think with Randle, I think they're still the 2, because I think the gap between New York and Boston, it could have been smaller for sure, but I'm trying to think of like how many games this is gonna go, because New York will drop a game or 2.
Yeah.
And they've done that all year. Like,
they have to.
You talk about like Boston playing down to an opponent. Believe me, like for some reason the Atlanta Hawks always gave Boston like a run for their money. I think they beat them like 3
in like a double overtime or something like that. 2-3
times this year.
Yeah.
Give me the Knicks in 6.
Same.
Yep. On home court.
Knicks in 6 sounds good. Knicks in 6.
On home court at the Garden.
Yeah.
At the Garden.
At the Garden. The Garden. The Mecca.
God. The world's most famous arena.
The Mecca.
All those Philly fans be like, yo, what is this, John?
John.
Your Sixers are so much better than this, brother.
So I got to tell you, before I was a little more excited and I saw less games taking place, I think this one's going all the way. I got Knicks in 7.
Well, that won't surprise me if it does go there.
Won't surprise me either.
The reason is that, like you said, the Sixers aren't a true 7. And that's because their starting roster has an arguable MVP candidate on there. Which also, since we're talking about accolades that almost could have been given to someone, Dante DiVincenzo missed the requirement for most improved player only by seconds.
Right.
Because holding that record, if he had played for a couple more seconds, he could have potentially won a most improved player of the year. Right. Out of nowhere, out of thin air. No one would have ever guessed it otherwise. So, with that being said, yes, Embiid is the all-star that everybody knows him to be at center. And it's not an ideal matchup with him against a potential Mitchell Robinson, right? I think Embiid would, that's a good matchup for Embiid. However, that's also to say that Knicks are filled with really good players, man.
They mesh really well.
They mesh really well. They have good chemistry.
I mean, of course, they played in Villanova together.
Yeah, all 3 of them. No, the 2 of them, forgive me.
No, 3 of them.
Who's the third one?
Josh Hart.
Josh Hart, Down DiVincenzo, and Jalen
right.
Brunson.
My
The fourth is actually
Mikal Bridges,
who's over in Brooklyn, who may be a Knick next year. Oh. I'm telling you, there's
crazy.
Rumblings because they're thinking about a rebuild over there in the Nets. So
I mean, if you ask me, they were in a
but they're talking about like a rebuild past like getting what they can out of Mikal. You know what I mean? Some draft picks and stuff because they will. He's a good player.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put that over there and plays defense too. Ooh, man.
And they're already a heavy defensive team.
That's what I'm saying.
And then Randall comes back.
That's what I'm saying. But they don't really need him, though, with OG Anunoby. But you never know.
Yeah, you know.
I like OG, too.
Yeah.
He's a fun player.
He is a fun player. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
the truth is that from that trade, they had Randall and Quickly, who weren't so strong defensively. So it was really...
Oh, Barrett.
What did I say?
Randall.
I said Randall, my bad. RJ. I was thinking R.
Yeah.
Barrett and Quickly. You know, the truth is that I feel like the reason that the Knicks, and you could argue with me if I'm wrong, neither of you are Knicks fans, but the reason that the Knicks became so exciting to watch this year was a lot of their defensive play.
Yeah.
You know, of course you can give Jalen Brunson the ball and he might average X amount a night, whatever. That's great. Every team has a player that's doing that, at least one of them. But the fact that they became so shut down on defense is really what's brought them this far. As far as other than Embiid goes, I wouldn't really call Philly a defensive team at all.
Right.
So with that chemistry, I think it's going to be hard fought back and forth. But, you know, I think Knicks have the upper hand. Knicks in 7, bro. For sure.
Good pick.
I like that.
Stuff. All right. Well, let's move on to the Western Conference.
Let's hear
my
it.
favorite conference. The strongest conference in the NBA for years now.
Strongest of all two of them.
Of all two of them. So we've got the number 1 seed going against the number 7. So OKC against the Pelicans.
Right.
Man, this isn't even like a thing. OKC, gentleman sweep. I give Pelicans a game.
Yeah.
Straight like that. OKC is great. Youngest team in the NBA. They're not playing like the youngest team in the NBA. You've got arguably the MVP over there in Shai Gilgeous.
Right.
Zion's
out.
Brandon Ingram. Yeah, right. I've been talking like that about Zion for years. Trust me.
He was going crazy this year, though. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
this was his best year in the NBA up to date. This year.
Yes, of course. But again, injured. So.
Yeah. And he walked like this off.
Right.
Off the court. Was
but like I said, man, OKC. There's not really much to say about them. OKC in 5, gentlemen sweep. Pelicans got 1 game on them.
Yep.
1.
I'll also go OKC in 5. I was almost gonna go with a full sweep just because they're just such a talented team. And
they really are.
They are fun to watch. SGA. But I'll go OKC in 5.
I like that. I like it a lot. Truth be told, I honestly think that if it was a regular sweep, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm also not gonna tell you that I doubt the Pelicans outside of Zion because they do have the Brandon Ingram, and I have a lot of faith in Brandon Ingram in general. Right. But it's just bad matchups for them all the way across the board. You know, no matter which way you look at it. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna say OKC in 5.
All right. Now, getting to
let's talk about it.
Yeah, I'm really, really, really excited for this matchup right here.
Are you?
Dallas and Clippers. Yeah, I am actually.
I thought you were gonna bring up the Lakers. I'm here hyping it up.
Relax.
That's last.
That's last, Papa. That's come on. That's
last on my bracket.
Come on, dude.
Listen,
I'm going through the brackets, and it's also I'm saving the best for last.
Okay, forgive me.
So yeah. So anyway,
for sure.
Getting back to it, Dallas Clippers.
Yeah.
Really like this matchup, man. I really like Dallas in this. First of all, I got no love for the Clippers at all. Over there trying to build a super team with a bunch of whatever. Anyway, I don't want to get too crazy about it. LA still belongs to the Lakers, as we all know.
Come on now.
But anyway,
closest matchup of the West?
Talent-wise? I wouldn't say that because Phoenix and Minnesota is going to be a really good one too. And that's actually about to start in 10 minutes here.
Okay, so I gotta just want to do that. Start flying through it. Okay, so what do you got? I got this. I got to go. Okay, and thanks for watching.
Clippers, Mavs. Give me the Mavs in 6.
I like that.
Give me the Mavs in 6, man. Luka, another MVP candidate, playing crazy.
Yep.
Kyrie, another guy who's come on now. Had a lot of questions about if those two were going to be able to mesh well, and it looks like they're doing it. With that trade, after the trade deadline, one of the top teams in defensive rating. Yep. They were shit on defense beforehand.
Yep.
Obviously one of the top teams in offensive rating. They can make some noise, man. They can make some real noise over there. And I could possibly see them in the Western Conference Finals, depending how some stuff falls, man. They got hot at the right time. And Luka Magic, dude. So
that guy's a freak of nature.
Yeah, he's a freak. So again, Luka and the Mavs in 6. That's how I feel.
Let's see. What do you think?
I'm just a huge believer in Luka. Now, I was gonna go with Kawhi just because I'm a New Balance guy. I used to work for New Balance, and Kawhi was like the first New Balance player to really like step up.
Did you really work for New Balance?
Worked for New Balance.
I'm jealous.
2 years ago. Yeah.
I would have took hella shoes with me.
40% off. I'll pull you a discount.
Hey, now he's got them on right now too.
I do. Yeah. But I'm just a huge believer in Luka. I'm gonna go Mavs in 7. I think this one will go the distance.
Oh, go all the way.
Yeah.
Now, I would usually...
Even with Kawhi being hurt?
That's what I was about to ask you. Kawhi's still...
a little tidbit you didn't know about, huh? Kawhi has a little bit of a knee problem, as per usual.
Yeah. I'll still go 7.
Really?
Still the whole way?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if this goes 5, but...
Yeah.
I'll give I know you guys won't, but I'll give the Clippers credit out of,
Well, look, I'm a Laker fan also. I'm not as much of a hater of the Clippers as my good friend David over here. The truth is that the way I kind of always saw it is I always kind of like had a half respect because we shared that same court for so long. But aside from that, I think that I would have also said 7 if it didn't have to do with Kawhi, still battling inflammation and things like that, still remaining questionable. That whole team is reliant on a bunch of stars that are all questionable at all times. When you're talking Kawhi, Paul George, James Harden, these are all players that have folded in the postseason in the past due to injury. Mm-hmm. Remember, everybody remembers that whole joke about playoff P.
Yeah.
Paul George was playoff P.
Yep.
And he was playoff nowhere to be found.
Yep.
For real. So
another thing I want to say too.
Let me say this.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
All right. Even though we're about to talk about him in 2 seconds, I just want to say all this slander about AD not being healthy or whatever. AD played 67 games this year. All right, 67, and played out of his mind.
That's a good number. It's a great.
So that's all I'm gonna say. All right, Kawhi hurt. All these other guys hurt. Who's healthy?
His hair, whack. His clothes, whack.
Who's healthy? AD.
It's true. It's fact.
Tired of it, man. I'm tired of the slander.
You got to think about it. You got to really put that into perspective, bro, because then if you're not going to put AD in the conversation, then you can't put a lot of these other all-stars in the conversation either.
It's nuts.
I got Mavs in 6.
All right.
Leave it right there.
Another fun one. Western Conference is so good, man.
It's way better than
so good. So good, dude.
Yeah.
Phoenix, Minnesota. I like this a lot. You know how I feel about AE. Anthony Edwards.
There's going to be a whole bunch of ugly shoes on the court. A whole bunch of ugly shoes.
Which ones? Just the D-books.
Those are ugly.
Don't say that Anthony Edwards are ugly. You're drunk. Have you been drinking? Oh, he's drunk. Wait a second. What's in that water bottle?
No.
What
was he sleeping with?
You're crazy.
Let's be serious.
Oh, no. I will not.
You're not rocking them.
Nah. I don't have them right now. What?
You're not rocking the AE with jeans?
You saw the picture I showed you with jeans. Did you see my boy Wale rocking them too? With the jeans shorts on?
Wale's overrated.
Oh my God, you're crazy.
We had this conversation too, but look,
you're crazy.
You're crazy. Look, I'm not gonna say
you're crazy.
They're not ugly. They're horrific.
Oh my God,
they have jellyfish net material on the outside.
Dude.
There's ridges on the outside like shark fins.
This is coming from the same guy who's rocking the orange Jordan Unities.
And they're hard.
Are you kidding me?
Don't do that.
I'm gonna do it.
There's no way
I'm gonna do it because you're coming crazy.
Look, I'm not looking at your feet. I bet money you got those Vapor Maxes on. You always got.
No, Vomeros. Zoom Vomeros. Can't say nothing about these, buddy.
They're not New Balance. Tell them, Jeremy.
Whatever.
Come
dude.
on, bro.
Whatever, dude. You're crazy.
There's better Adidas shoes out there right now.
He's got the best Adidas basketball shoe out right now.
No, you're wrong.
Which one's better, James Harden?
The Harden.
Get out of here.
Volumates?
With the big circle on them? Get out of here,
I can't argue with you. You don't know shapes. There's no circles.
Oh, the oval?
There's no circles on them.
All right, dude. Now you can't argue because you don't know
On that
shapes.
being said, the shoes might be ugly. He's the most electrifying player in the NBA right now.
I'll agree with you on that one.
Stamp you on that one.
I'll agree with you on that one.
He said in an interview, how long do you think it would take you to be the best player in the NBA? He said, give me 2 or 3 years.
He's damn good, dude.
For a reason.
He's damn good.
Timberwolves in 5.
Whoa. All right.
KD is a flop.
Whoa. KD's one of the best players we've ever seen in our lives.
But not right now.
All right, look. This is how I'm going to break this down, all right? First of all, both teams have an extreme amount of talent on the floor.
Yeah.
All right? That's number one. I'm giving Minnesota the edge. And the reason I'm doing that is because Anthony Edwards, the defensive player of the year, and Rudy Gobert.
Right.
And my X
There
factor.
was like 7 quotations on that one. It said defensive.
And my X factor, Mike Conley.
Oh.
My X factor, Mike Conley. Been watching Mike Conley for a long time.
It has been.
This is
a
another
while.
guy who doesn't age. It's weird.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. Mike Conley, the way he has these guys playing, the way he distributes the ball and his leadership, you can see it out in the floor. And that's exactly what these young guys needed, like a Karl Anthony Towns and stuff like that, and Anthony Edwards. All of them healthy. AE, Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, Michael Conley, one of the best defenders in the league in Jaden McDaniels.
Talk to him.
I'm giving Minnesota the edge. I'm going to say Phoenix has a lot of talent, and I do think that talent is going to win them some games.
Right.
I actually think this is going to go 7.
All the way.
Devin Booker's a dog. All right. Devin Booker's not the type of he's not a player that's just gonna lay down and let you win. He's gonna go out there.
I agree.
He's gonna give it to you. Kevin Durant's another guy who likes to win. Did he lose a step? Yeah, sure. But still uber competitive.
Yeah.
Right? And has a chance. Bradley Beal, another guy who seems like he's ready. Like another guy who's never been that far in the playoffs.
Been fighting for it forever.
The best team that he's been on, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And they're clicking at the right time. So very good matchups. Still giving Minnesota the edge, but Minnesota in 7.
I like it.
The T-Wolves have a Jersey boy on their roster. Shout out Nas Reed, LSU.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
So
yes, sir.
Because of that, that's my X factor.
6th man of the year. My 6th man of the year, by the way.
I'm going to go... David, I like 7. I do, just because like the amount of talent in this series, this could be the best one for the viewer, like for like the neutral fan.
Yeah.
Give me T-Wolves in 6. Yeah.
All right.
I like that. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And you know what?
This could go 7 though. This would not surprise me if it does go all the way.
Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I believe one of the main reasons that we're also all picking Minnesota is they're the more defensive team.
Yeah.
Well, yes, they are. Minnesota's one of the top defensive rated teams in the league.
And Phoenix is not really known for that type of play style. They're
Scoring
outscoring you, but they're not really.
Yeah,
but it's because they're very offensively heavy.
Their defense has gotten better. They do have some individual defenders over there. The way they scheme, Frank Vogel is a defensive minded coach.
Right.
So let's not forget that championship coach, by the way, too.
Talk to him
for the Lakers.
Talk to him.
But I just see there's too much talent, and as good as Devin Booker is, as good as KD, as good as Bradley Beal, not one of them got anything for Anthony Edwards. Not a damn thing.
Yeah, watch like the last like 5 minutes of each game in this series, and like watch them how like they lock down Devin Booker.
For real.
Yeah.
And who's gonna like who do you think because I haven't been watching obviously. Like, who will be the guy guarding KD the most? Like would it be
Jaden McDaniels?
Jaden McDaniels.
He's our best defender, Jaden McDaniels. So he's locking him down.
Yeah.
You've got pretty decent. Michael Conley's a good defender in his own right. Devin Booker's a little bit bigger than he is.
Is AE on Devin Booker?
Probably, and
That's gonna be fun.
and you'll probably see Michael Conley on Bradley Beal, because Bradley Beal's gonna play like off because Bradley Beal's their third option.
Yeah.
Essentially, so he's gonna be playing off that. Bradley Beal's gonna be playing a lot of. I think in this series, lately Booker has been taking the point guard roles.
Right.
And I'm not saying that Booker's not going to have the ball in his hands a lot, but I think that Bradley Beal's going to have to take more of that because it's going to look like a lot of off-ball stuff for Devin Booker for me. A lot of off-ball threes coming off. He's going to have to because to get those shots off, he's going to have to find them. He's not just going to be able to get to his spot like that all easy. They're a very good defensive team. They're good with switches. They switch on everything, which is good because they have the length for it and the size. So I do see Devin Booker going to have to play off the ball a little bit more than usual, which plays into exactly what the Timberwolves want.
I like it. Makes sense to me. So, since you had to bring up your boy,
come on,
best for last or whatever he called it before.
We want all the smoke. We ain't ducking shit. All right?
I got to tell you.
We ain't ducking nothing.
I'm ducking.
I ain't ducking. Here we go.
I'm hiding.
Don't hide.
I'm in the corner.
Don't hide.
You're in Cody's corner.
Don't hide.
Oh my.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't say it.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't say it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, by the way, for those who.
Oh my goodness.
You could read it, right?
Is it there?
It's there, right?
Look how nice it is.
Hold up. Could I? Oh man. Oh, it's doing things.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Before someone has a seizure, please.
Well, let me tell you who's gonna be doing
Relax.
some things. All right. We're gonna be doing some things. The LA Lakers. Are gonna be doing some things. Let me tell you something. The Denver Nuggets are an extremely good team.
Absolutely.
I am not going to take anything away from them.
Absolutely.
The Lakers have the same team, but slightly better. Right? We've got some pieces. Spencer Dinwiddie. Gabe Vincent's coming along now. He's healthy again.
Yeah. Hachimura's
playing better, but being stuck into the starting rotation.
Yep.
Even though I don't really trust Rui all that much.
D'Lo's more fluent than ever.
I just want to say, and D'Lo is my X factor in this series. D'Lo this season is if you look up his numbers, he is top 5 point guard in the league.
Facts.
He has better shooting numbers than Steph Curry. He has a better field goal percentage than Damian Lillard. Like, I can keep going. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
Great. Like D'Angelo Russell has been playing out of his mind. Now, defensively is he a little bit of a liability. I don't like him guarding Jamal Murray because Jamal Murray's a fucking bucket.
Right.
But however, that is the X factor for me. Now, as much as I love my guys, and as much as the smoke that I want,
David.
On 420, I love the smoke. I want the smoke, all of it. God damn it, all of it. However,
tell him. Be honest.
I have to be honest, and I have to, be true to my analyst side of me, right, and not let my biases take over
again. Don't let them take over again. Let them know.
Denver.
God, I can't say it.
Denver in 6.
No!
It hurts. But Denver in 6.
Yeah.
Denver in 6. If Christian Wood, not so much Christian Wood, but Jared Vanderbilt, which is our best defender.
Right.
Well, AD's our best defender. He's our best perimeter defender.
Number 2.
He's our best perimeter defender. If he was healthy, I would still take Denver, but I probably would take it to 7. But however, still missing some of those pieces. I still think 6, a very competitive 6. But I just think that Denver just has a little bit too much. Now, listen, Denver in that series last year made some crazy shots at the last second of a lot of those games.
Outlandish shots.
Of a lot of those games. And I'm sure that, every sport has to do with momentum, right? Momentum is huge in sports, and it's really big in basketball. When it's 105 to 109, 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and your defense has stopped the offensive team to 23.9 seconds, and they hoist up a 3 from the back of his neck, fading away, that's a backbreaker.
It's true.
It's a backbreaker.
Yeah.
Because now, you know what I'm saying, instead of a 4-point game, now it's a
1-point game.
Now it's a, what do you mean? I just said 105 to 109. I'm saying like if Denver was up. Like if we're going up, I was saying that in specific because that's actually what really happened in a game. It was 105. It was 109.
Yeah, 105 to 109,
yeah.
and then 105 makes it 3, so it's 109 to 108. It's a 1 point.
What's
game.
109? No, I was saying like Jokic hit the fadeaway jumper.
Okay.
When you're playing
I like your emphasis on the
because that's what he did. A couple of times, but I'm just saying when you're playing defense on a team, you know what I mean? Like you're making a comeback, whatever the case may be. You're making a run.
Wrong math. It's fine.
You're making a run. The shot clock's about to go off. They're making these crazy shots. Those are backbreakers, dude. A lot of those games, every one of those games was competitive. I just want to say we might have lost, but every one of those games was competitive. So
6 is a good number.
I like 6 because
it's a fighting number.
It's a fighting number. It's a fighting number. We've got a couple of pieces, but I just think that Denver is just a better built team.
Yeah. They won last year.
All around, and Jokic is still Jokic, and he's still one of the best players in the league, and he's still a top 5 MVP candidate, maybe top 3, really.
True.
And so as much as it pains me, and it breaks my heart, Denver in 6.
All right.
Yeah, I can't see the defending champs getting knocked out in the first round. Like, I can't just... I don't know.
If there was any chance for them to get knocked out, it's right now.
It's right now.
This is the best chance for the Lakers because the way the first round is set up, there's more days in between games than any other round, which plays into the Lakers' favor. Obviously, LeBron being older and some of the players, not all the players are being older. We actually have a decently young team,
right?
All in all,
depth
with
is
like
pretty young.
Yeah. So, however, though, that time is an advantage for the lesser team.
Right.
I feel like for better teams,
they want to keep playing.
They want to keep playing.
They want to end it as soon as possible.
They want to keep playing.
Right.
But the way the Lakers play, we're still defensive minded, and I think that the days will help us. Still think the Nuggets are going to win ultimately, but I do think that having those days in between, those extra days in between, is going to help us steal a game or two.
I gotta tell you, if I'm being completely honest with you guys and the listeners, I know it's gonna go to 7, but I don't know who's gonna take it.
Okay. Hey.
Heads or tails?
The truth is that I think that if AD can stay competitive enough to not shut down Jokic, but keep him at a certain plateau, okay, you can let him hit X amount of points, but don't let him get past that.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I think it can go either way. I really, really do. I think that you stop the Nuggets before they get into a flow. If we can figure out something about what to do with them early in the series, then I think that we have a chance. I really do.
Well, this is my problem. This is the Lakers, as you know, I've watched them all season, and it's more closely than any other team, clearly, because that's my team.
Right.
The Lakers, we have the ability to beat anyone, and we also have the ability to get smoked by everyone.
Facts.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life.
It depends if LeBron's feeling it that day.
It's nuts. I'd be like, oh, wow, we look great. Like, we could beat anybody. And I'm like, what the fuck like are you doing? You know what I'm saying? So, and a really bad stat, I think we're like 0-8 in the last 8 games against Denver.
Yikes.
Denver has ruined, and on top of that, Denver has ruined so many like monumentous like things for us. Like LeBron's 40,000 point game. Denver beat us. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, streaks are meant to be broken.
Ring ceremonies, Denver beat us. Like, it's not. It sucks. All right. It's
so they're here to rain on our parade once more. You're saying?
It looks like it, but we wanted it because we could have. I mean, with the whole playing thing, you never want to intentionally lose.
Right.
Even though I would have loved that OKC matchup because OKC hasn't beat us all year. So, but you can't take that chance because anything could have happened. So, we're here for the smoke, and let's get to it.
I like it. What do you think?
Yeah, I was gonna probably just back up that point. I can't see the champs getting knocked out. I'll go Nugs in 6.
I like that. I like that a lot. There's nothing wrong with anything that we said. You know, we'll keep back. We'll keep record of what everybody said, and then we'll go through. We'll see
Every
who
week.
got what right, what wrong.
Yep.
Same way we did for NFL, coming
sure.
around, bring a little of that, sprinkle that back into the system.
For sure.
So I'm glad. And then obviously that's all that's going on. That's all that's going on with basketball right now. On that note, at this point, you guys are going to realize there's some technical difficulties going on with the video, but we finished up the episode for you guys.
Yeah.
You know? But next time coming around, we'll have this figured out, just so we figure out everything else.
That's it.
I want to thank Jeremy for coming through to the show with us one time.
Clap it up for my guy, man. A lot of knowledge. I really love the fact that I just want to say that you came in here and you really taught us, I think, a lot about, especially about hockey and stuff like that.
That's the
goal. A lot of tips. And that's great because as much fun as we like to have on this show, we also like to be a little bit informative too. Yeah. We like to give the people a little bit of news. We like to teach you guys new things if we can.
Right.
And you did a great job of that, Jeremy. So thank you again.
Appreciate that, Dave. Thank you so much. And Dakota, man, just the reunion of this, this is awesome. This
really is.
This is years in the making here.
It really has been.
Years.
We were doing this in desks,
right?
So you know what? So to see that come into microphones and a table, and you got all the people that you're repping behind you.
It's awesome.
And it's always nice to see people that you grew up with really, make something out of themselves and turn it into something that they love, man. So
100%.
On that note, we're going to come back to you guys. The draft would have already happened. Maybe we'll do a little review really quick, see how close Jeremy really was.
Right.
And we'll take it from there. So from us to you guys, as always, I'll see you.
I'll see you.